right. Welcome back to Final Fantasy 14 on Gilded Gaming. We are loading up. I need to get my controller. Where'd I put it? Deshire has my controller. I'll be right back, guys. Haha! Hey, Minus and Ethos, thanks for boosting. We must be getting close. But did we get it? Is it over? Did I miss it? I don't see the thing anymore. Oh, you did it! Thanks, guys. Ah, awesome. Hopefully that helps, huh? You know? Oh, like, theoretically, it means that they'll like put my channel on like some people's, you know, recommended list and stuff. I don't entirely know how it works. The new thing they're doing. I think it's still in beta, you know? I don't think every stream has it. You have 110,000 channel points lying around. Kara Nova's already in game. That's awesome, Kara. Alright. So, when we last left off, we had just come by and met with the Moogles and got them on our side. And I think now we're going to be heading out and about here in the zone. We also got another quest for an Aether Current from the Moogles. Let's check that out. Alright, Moghan, what you got? Have you said your goodbyes, dabbed away your tears, Kupo? Then we are indeed ready to go. Oh, also we have another job quest to do, actually. Let's do our job quest before we get started. Ooh, there's another quest. This is probably an Aether Current. Let me grab this real quick. From Mogsy. Yep. Definitely want to get those. You aren't thinking of heading towards Asa, are you? Best watch yourself if you are. Archaeosaurs stalk the road looking for an easy meal. If only someone could drive them away, Kupo. Oh, you seem the type for dragon hunting. Why don't you slay 3 of the Archaeosaurs and open the road back up for Moogle traffic? Once the deed is done, I'll let Mogmont and Asa know. Alright, cool. Kill some dragons, that should be easy. Before we do that, though, let's head back to... Get back to town. And see about whatever we're gonna get for our job quest this time. I don't even know. I don't even know. Alright. We can head to the Forgotten Night, right? That's not the Forgotten Night. Like my old muscle memory coming back from when I was a machinist. No, it's because the Aetherite Pause is normally at the top, and I just automatically went down. Like, Forgotten Night's the second one. It's not if you're at the Aetherite Plaza. Alright. Alright. What do we got? What do we got? And thanks again, guys, for boosting the stream. That is awesome. I don't know how much it helps, but you know what? It helps mentally at the very least. Where are we going? It's in here, right? Alright, Shudurgu, what we got? Original Sins. Oh my. Abyssal Drain. Deal unexpected damage with a potency of 200 to target and all enemies nearby, restoring own HP. Ooh, a self-heal. It's a 1-minute recharge, instant cast, free self-heal. That does damage in AoE. I love it. Restores HP based on how many enemies it hit as well. Nice. So for tanking, that just sounds really good. I've been thinking, Elheim. The Padjal likened Riel's spiritual presence to that of a Dravanian, hence why he suggested she had partaken of dragon blood. Regardless of the cause, if she does hold some affinity with dragons, she will never be safe here in Ishgard. If, being the operative word, of course, we need to know for certain, which means we must parley with the Dravanian. It will not be easy, I realize. The Dravanians are not wont to entertain outsiders, especially ones hailing from Ishgard. You have spoken with their leaders? Beg pardon, I did not think you would so readily admit it. Well, pray lead the way, Elheim. I've spoken with their leaders? I mean, I've spoken with some people. Alright. Okay. Oh, we're gonna go talk to Vidofnir. What if we had gotten to level 56 and we hadn't met Vidofnir yet? Wouldn't that be, like, awkward? Story-wise. I mean, I don't know. Like, what if we hadn't been here yet? Like, what if I just grinded as soon as I got into Heavensward? It wouldn't let you start the job quest. Okay, cool. So the job quests aren't just gated by your level, but also by where you are in the main story. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. We gotta go upstairs. Elheim Gilded the Unbeliever. And wind up Alphino. The best companion ever. Little wind up Alphino. I should have flight now. Oh, you know what? I do have flight here, don't I? Yep, I can fly here. Not that super helps going upstairs, but there might have been there was a hole in the floor, wasn't there? Yeah, here he goes. Thou keepest curious company, mortal. I see. Though I trust in thy words, thy companions are unknown to me. A token, then, for them to declare their intent. I would have them gather up Gron Ahim in Avalonia Fallen and bring it to me. But where are the beasts which are drawn by their fragrance? Right then, gathering flowers for a dragon, no point in questioning it. Riel and I will search the lands north of here. You can take the south. Alright. Whoosh. And again I say whoosh. Alright. Much faster. Gotta love flight. Alright. We head south. More specifically, over there. I'm really going to enjoy going through Zelda again. It really is my favorite video game series. As much as I play RPGs almost all the time, I just have a great love of Zelda. I always will. Speaking of, I mean, it's still an RPG, but like more action-based games, when Mass Effect comes out, we are going to be playing a lot of Mass Effect in here. At least that's the plan at the moment. I know. In fact, I took a week off of work when Mass Effect Legendary Edition comes out. We're gonna play through that whole series. Do other Zelda games have lots of death pits? Other Zelda games are generally just easy, to be honest. I can't think of another Zelda game where I die often at all. And other Zelda games, when you fall in a pit, you generally just take half a heart of damage, maybe a whole heart if it's a hard part of the game. You don't die. like in any other Zelda, if you fall in a pit, it doesn't kill you. It just hurts you a little bit. Or like you'll have fairies. Like there's all kinds of different ways that it's just not as hard in other Zelda games. Hopefully it works better than the way I took off for Cyberpunk. I think it will, because you know Mass Effect is, for the most part, a port. I think that they're making some, quality of life changes, and they've upscaled the graphics a bit. But it's not like they're making a new game. I think the date is set in stone. It's supposed to come out May 14th. And if it doesn't, you know, we'll just play something else. I have to take off 4.5 weeks this year because I have too much overtime. I'm not overtime, too much vacation. And I'm going to lose my vacation at the end of the year if I don't use it. So this is how I've chosen to use some of it. Such fragile, fleeting creations. Bring them close, mortal, and I might breathe deep of their essence. That which passeth into death liveth on in memory. Thou prepareth now for the journey. Bid farewell to her and mourn, and find the answer thou seekest. So, like, how does that prove anything to him about my new friends? Because I'm the one who went out and got the flower and brought it to him. He already liked me. like, how does that prove anything about the Dark Knight in real? Oh, whatever. Kind of already have the playthrough set up too. Like, I've played Mass Effect before, the whole trilogy, but I think this time I haven't decided whether I want to do Vanguard or Paragon. The one thing I have decided is that we're gonna be, you know, like we're choosing Tali because Tali's Zor Narai. Last time I played Mass Effect, the Mass Effect trilogy, I got Tali killed. More specifically, I got Tali to commit suicide. And I didn't like that. So this time, we're going to be best friends with Tali. And I'm going to go... I don't know about Paragon or Renegade, but I am going to go... Vanguard. So it'll be like the teleport into combat with a shotgun and shoot him in the head kind of playthrough. Alright. Let me linger a while longer, Hunter. Soon my soul shall take wing. A dying dragon, huh? Giving them flowers. Reminds me a little bit of Final Fantasy V. I shall miss this. Bit often bade you come to me. His scent entwined. Oh, I see now. We seek no quarrel, O Ancient One, only answers. Come forward, child. You think that an ancient dragon that's on its deathbed would be bigger? He's a little dragon. There you are, my beloved. How long hath it been since we soared through the mists? What did you say? Silence, Dark One. He liveth on in you, child. The blood of my beloved floweth strong in thy veins. Yet mingled as it is, 'twas not thee who partook of his essence. Were it not so, thou wouldst have been overcome. Thy progenitors drank deep to spur their own becoming. Then it's true, and the Temple Knights knew. Then they will never stop. They cannot. Even if we flee Ishgard, if we could but harness the abyss. Thou speakest strange, Dark One. What dost thou seek? Oh, shrouded in thy rancor, thou standest apart for thy charge. The folly of youth. Even the tiny beings who frolic in the midst of some all know a better way. What? Who? No more, Dark One, no more. Farewell, child. Fly free for us. Goodbye, and thank you. There's not more for us here to Ishgard. So she didn't drink dragon blood, but one of her ancestors drank a whole bunch of it, and so she's like, got a little bit of dragon in her. Huh? Fair enough. Alright, well, the class quest didn't take long. We'll get right back to the main story. Considering we just did a dungeon and a trial, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of, you know, blop, 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 blop. Not so much dungeon at the moment, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, we can just go to the Forgotten Night. Might reach, right? I might reach the next dungeon tonight. All right. Well, we'll try to. We've got like 3.5 hours theoretically, if we want to use them, or even 4.5, honestly. I was looking through. So I've been streaming on Twitch again, full time, like not full time, but like every night since June, right? We're up to, like I put it in the title, we're like day 235 straight of streaming, which is great. But I was looking at my last 6 months of streaming, and Final Fantasy 14 actually has the most hours because it's such a long game and we play it every week. So like other games come and go, but Final Fantasy 14 is actually what we've played the most this last 6 months. I think second place was Xenogears at like 56 hours, and then Chrono Cross at 54 or something like that. This changes nothing. I swore an oath to protect her, and I mean to uphold it no matter the cost. I'm not even halfway through the main story quest. I know. I'm only on the first expansion. All right. It's a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. We're gonna take our time and keep. I like the pace we have right now. Honestly, we're getting a little bit of story each time. Hopefully, I think my goal right now is to try and catch up in the main story and get to max level maybe before the next big expansion drops, so that we can experience the next big expansion with the community, you know? But that's the only speed that I'm caring about right now. I swore an oath to protect her, and I mean to uphold it no matter the cost. And a bunch of info on the next expansion on Friday. I heard. I follow Final Fantasy 14 on Twitter, and they've been putting stuff out about it. We don't know when it'll come out yet. Yeah, I'm guessing not until next year, but it could be Christmas for all I know. I don't know when they usually put them out. So these are the knights who would defy the will of Helone. She's found us. My lady surely knows she will find few friends here. Blessed are we who abide in her grace, for we shall ever be forsaken. Never be forsaken. One day I, Istrid of de Calignon, shall walk in her halls, and you shall answer for your deeds. Will you stand before her and claim you were righteous, that it was just to take so many lives in defense of that abomination? Repent of your sins and surrender it to me. Fury may yet spare your souls. So yours is the righteous cause. To condemn a girl to death for her parents' deeds, is that the will of the house Helone? Oh, the will of Helone. Yes, it is. If you will not see reason, even with full knowledge of the facts, then I make to you all a final offer. Submit to a trial by combat. Oh, I'll win that. Why would you challenge the warrior of light to a trial by combat? Has nobody learned anything? Survive and you may go in peace. Fallen it is mine. Refuse and I will put this tavern to the torch and have the heads of every man, woman, and child here. What did everyone else in the bar do? like, I'm the righteous one. I'm gonna kill everyone in this tavern if you don't listen to me. Anyone who dares harbor you will suffer the same, here or elsewhere. This I swear to you. Would that we could settle this here and now, but I'd wager your men at the doors would take offense. As you wish, my lady. You shall have your trial. I shall send a messenger with details. Mother, wait. Mother? I should have had them cut out your tongue. But if that's her mother and her ancestors drank the blood, then wouldn't her mother be an abomination too, unless she got it from her father's side? But even then her mother slept with the abomination to make her, right? I don't know. Riel, what in the Seven Hills is going on? She told them to take me. She said I wasn't hers, that I was... Why didn't you tell me this was all your mother's doing? I bled for you. Frey died for you. We had a right to know. I didn't mean for... God damn it all. Leave us, Elheim. I need time to think. All right. Whew. The dark side stirs in the presence of pain. Yeah, it does. All right. Where do we want to put our heal on our bar here? Probably around there. A 1 minute cooldown. Put Dark Bind back on there somewhere else. No, dang it. Oh, I can't get to the other one. Okay. Oh, I see where I messed up. Okay. That'll work. Alright. And our next one is at level 58. Flame in the Abyss. That one doesn't list a skill for it. Interesting. Alright. Very cool. Abyssal Drain. Alright. Speaking of games that are coming out, Persona 5 Strikers comes out in like 2 weeks. There's just no way I'm going to have time to play Persona 5 Royal or Strikers anytime soon. If I play Persona 5 Royal, we're talking about like 2 months of the stream to finish that probably. Like, it's such a long game. And then Strikers, like, we have too many other things we're doing right now. As much as I want to play them. I'm sure we'll get to them at some point. Alright, let's go back to Mogholm. And see about continuing the main story. We've been making pretty good progress through the Final Fantasy series, though. We're a good ways into Final Fantasy VIII now. Deshire's coming up on the end of Final... I think she's going to finish Final Fantasy VI. I mean, not tomorrow, but maybe Thursday or Saturday, right? And then we haven't done 7 yet, but she's going to be doing that one. But that's quite a good chunk of Final Fantasies already done. Although the second half are much, much longer, right? They're long games. All right. And this we want. Ooh, hello. Okay. Slight armor upgrades. As Chieftain Moglin already explained, the shiny instrument we gave you is the best means of grabbing Hrasfulger's attention. I'll come along and show you the way to the Zenith. That's the big palace where you'll blow the horn. First things first, though, we need to make for Asa. Oh, and watch out for rampaging dragons. Maybe that should have been the first thing, Kupo. Alright. So... check out our map here. We've got... some dragons to kill over here. This is the main story, and then this is the other Aether Current quest. You basically have to go through the main story one to get to the other ones, pretty much. Alright, what's we got here? Blue dragon and a green dragon? Fair enough. Alright. Lugoosh the Misbehaving. Quite the name. Best, huh? Gonna be up there. Probably. Oh, here's Archosaurs. I think my one problem with Final Fantasy VIII right now, I'm really enjoying the story because I don't know what's going on. I'm really like totally confused. But I'm actually liking that because the mystery is keeping me coming back for more, right? As long as it ends up being a good payoff, I'm going to be happy with that. But the problem that I'm having with Final Fantasy VIII right now is just how unbelievably easy it was to break the game and how stupidly easy it is right now. the game is very, very, there's strategy to the combat in the game. I'm just overpowered. I can beat them the wrong way. You know what I mean? I can do whatever. I'm gonna win. We fought Tomberry King last night, which some people like on Twitter were telling me was like a hard fight. They're like, "Oh man, you fought him? How'd that go? You know, was it rough?" And it's like, dude, I put it on speed up and just like spammed attack without even using the trigger on my gunblade because it was so easy. I just wanted to speed it up. Like I literally put it in fast forward mode and held down X for like 70% of the fight. So no, not hard. Not that I need an RPG to be hard. It's just I feel like with Final Fantasy VIII, it was such a unique set of mechanics that they didn't want to make it hard, but like they kind of erred in the opposite direction. Like they didn't even attempt to balance it. I don't think. It wasn't even a concern of theirs. How do we get to? I guess I don't go that way. Let me go to this other quest over here. I'm still enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot, actually. I'm not trying to like be down on Final Fantasy VIII. One of the few Final Fantasies I never played because I could never accept the mechanics as when I was younger. Like, I didn't like the junction system. It was weird to me, and I didn't get into it. I'm into it now, so that's good. The story is either going to be really good or really bad, and I can't tell which yet. You know, because there's so much mystery to everything that's going on. I don't have any clue what's actually the plot right now. So when I get the answer, I'm either gonna love it or I'm gonna hate it, probably. Both of these Aether Current quests are essentially the exact same thing with different models. You know, like, one of them was kill this many 3 dragons, and one of them was kill 3 of these guys, which might as well be dragons. They do basically the same thing. They do it in 2 separate locations. Alright, those quests are done. Aether Current down here, might as well grab. There it is. For the next couple Final Fantasies, though, I already know that I like them. Like, Final Fantasy VII I love. Final Fantasy IX I love. Final Fantasy X is great. Like, Final Fantasy XII I enjoy quite a lot. So, like, the next couple Final Fantasies are just going to be a joy. Right? It'll be a couple months of, like, just playing games that I really like. But, you know, we're going to intersperse them. When Deshire's done with 6, she's going to be playing Danganronpa 2 next. When I am done with 8, I'm going to be doing a bunch of Zeldas for a little bit. She's going to do 7. I might do 7, Final Fantasy 7 at the same time. Because I kind of want to play 7 too. I'm going to do some kind of challenge run. But she's going to be playing it blind. And I'm going to be doing, like, I don't know, some kind of challenge run to be determined. This way, maybe? Looks right. Heading back towards the beginning. There was another one over there that it switched which one it was pointing me at, I think. Someone else is doing the quest I just did. Ah, right there. I walked right by that one earlier. I'm so bad at noticing things when I'm not looking for them. You ever have trouble with that? Where it's like, if you're not explicitly looking for it, you just don't see it. You know? Okay. There's an ether current there. Here's the next part of the main story right there. Convenient. Ice dragon, huh? Oh, hello. But I think between like Mass Effect and Zelda, that's probably about all the other games I have room for around Final Fantasy in the near future. You know, that'll be a lot of games already. So Final Fantasy, Zelda, Final Fantasy, Zelda, Mass Effect, Zelda, Final Fantasy. Yeah. Man, it's gonna be crazy when we finally get through this series, though. I've said it before, but like, no matter what series we pick next, it's gonna be shorter. You know, it's gonna seem easy compared to Final Fantasy, as far as just getting the whole series done. I don't mean the games themselves. I mean like just the sheer undertaking of how long it takes to get through that whole set of games. I knew it was going to be long when I started it, but I think even I underestimated it a little bit. I'd done essentially the Final Fantasy franchise playthrough before on the stream. I didn't do all of them, but I did a lot of them. It went a lot faster back then, though, because like 10 years ago when I streamed, I was streaming like 12 hours a day. I would fly through games, right? Is that someone from below? How did you get past the Archosaurs infesting the road? What? Mogsy asked you to slay them for him. It's just like him to depend on the kindness of strangers. We've barely been able to venture outside of us Asa for fear of being attacked. Now, thanks to you, the roads are a little safer, Kupo. There's an aether current here. Is there a... There's no aether right here, is there? Oh. Go around. Things were a bit bitey there for a while, but I think we arrived in one piece, Kupo. I wonder, what has the dragons so awfully snappy? I mean, the bad ones are always bad, but they seem worse than usual. Probably our fault somehow. Okay. We may have a small problem, Kupo. When the winds are high like this, Hraswger invariably abandons his lofty perch and heads for the lands below to hunt. If you tried to blow the horn now, I doubt he'd hear it. I suggest we stop at the clearing up ahead and rest until the wind dies down. Okay. You reach the next dungeon and decide to do a leveling roulette to catch up. You ended up getting the new dungeon as your roulette. Oh, it is what it is, I guess. Sorry about that. How much farther is it to the next dungeon? I didn't realize you're already there, but I have no idea how far ahead of me you are. I keep seeing these little wind sprites and thinking it's an aether current. It's like fake aether current enemies. They don't even aggro, they're just there to confuse me. 8 or 9 quests. We'll get there tonight then, I think. Hey, Shadow Konako, how's it going? Shadow Kitten, welcome to the show. This should do nicely, Kupo. The winds will likely have died down by tomorrow. Until then, we might as well make ourselves comfortable. We must interrupt our journey so close to its end. I suppose this place is as good as any. And mayhap a brief respite from the hardships of the road will clear our minds from the readiness of the coming parley. Very well, then. I believe a campfire is in order. Leave the gathering of fuel to me. I acquired a keen nose for firewood during my time in the frozen wastes of Korthus. Clear our minds. 'Tis Master Alpha whose mind needs clearing. The thought of meeting a great worm in the flesh has befuddled the boy. Did you see him stroll away as if the ruins were not crawling with deadly beasts? Follow him, Elheim, and see that the wildlife does not make a meal of our young friend. We will have the camp ready by the time you return. How you doing tonight, Shadow Konako? You having a good time? I hope everything's going well. I bet you the next ether current is right by where we're headed right now. So. Huh? So is better than bad, I guess. Invisible walls! Ugh. Why can't I jump off this ledge? And how do I go about going somewhere else? I can't go that way either. I gotta go around. Ugh. Bored and gorged on Rice Krispies treats. Oh man. That reminds me, my goal this year is to lose weight, and like a lot of it, right? I'm starting to like exercise and eat less and all that jazz. I gave up soda at the beginning of the year. That's why it's all this water all the time. I just need to buckle down on it. This guy gonna come fight me? Alright. That's how you lost nearly 20 pounds? Yeah, I need to lose like 200 pounds. So, you know. I want to be half the streamer I am now. Half the man I am now and twice the streamer. Well, it's doing the same quest I am. Me and you both, huh? We can do it together, man. I'm gonna start, like, making a post about my weight loss on Twitter, like, once a day. I'm gonna track my weight. Try and hold myself accountable to it, you know? And get through this thing. Be healthier. Me and D were talking about, like, D is buying, like basically cosplay for when she does her Danganronpa stream. She wants to have like a Monokuma get up, right? Which I'm like all for. Like, go for it. That'll be awesome, right? And then I was like, man, I could get like a Link get up and stuff, but man, I don't want to buy like I'd like, you know, like a cool get up, but I don't want to buy like the fat. I don't want to be Fat Link. You know what I mean? I was gonna be Link. I want to be Link. I need to lose weight. That's what I'm gonna do. I used to be in such good shape. That's the worst thing about it. Like, in college, I was like in exceptionally good shape. Let myself go when I became a programmer. I used to teach martial arts. So I did a ridiculous amount of exercise every day, pretty much. The pandemic isn't helping either, but I haven't changed much because of the pandemic, honestly. I can't blame that one on the pandemic. Yeah, I have gained weight over the year too. Time to fix it, right? Time to fix it. I like this cone that this guy has where it's like he has like a blind spot on his back so you can get behind him and just stay in melee. I like that a lot better than the ones that just like hit everything within so many feet of them so you have to run out for a second. Can I jump up here? I remember when I went to Georgia Tech, you know, like, so my roommate kept going on about like gaining the freshman 15 or whatever, right? I gained like the freshman 100. Yeah. I was like rail thin when I went to college, when I first got there. Like super thin. I could have used to gain, gaining weight was good. I just overdid it, right? I was like malnourished. What is this? Milady. Wow. Okay. Somehow you lost weight freshman year. You gained it all back next year. I gained a bunch of weight freshman year and then I lost all of it when I started doing Kung Fu and Tai Chi. And then I put on like muscle weight for a while, a little bit. I wasn't like bulky, but I wasn't scrawny either, you know? Northeast. Yeah, let's keep going with the main quest for now. That's really far away. We must speak with Estinian. Living in Woodruff. Oh, but you live in Woodruff next to the dining hall? I was not in Woodruff. I was in I was on that side of campus freshman year. But it was in dang, what was the name of it? I was in 2 different dorms freshman year. No, it was freshman and sophomore year, I guess. What was it? And then after that I went to the other side of campus. And West Campus has like way better dorms than East Campus. At least it did then. I'm trying to think. I can't remember the name of the... I bet everybody remembers Woodruff because it's where the food was, but I don't remember the name of my own dang dorm. It's funny. Oh well. You stayed on West Campus all 4 years? That's cool. I was on West Campus the first 2 years, and then they were gonna move me to East Campus, but then I got like one of those 4-bedroom apartment dorms instead. And then my 4th year I had gotten my own apartment out in the city. I moved out like off campus completely. I wasn't far away. I could like ride my bike to campus, but I wasn't on campus. Freshman dorm was Freeman. You know what? This is gonna bother me that I can't remember this. I'm gonna freaking look it up. I remember Freeman too, but I don't think I was in Freeman. What was? I need the freaking map. The map would tell. It wasn't Armstrong. Caldwell. I was in Caldwell. And then, what's the one across from Caldwell? Is it Freeman? Maybe it was Freeman for the second time. I know I started out in Caldwell. Is Freeman the one across from Caldwell? My first year dorm was so much nicer than my second year dorm, because my first year dorm, they had just remodeled the dorms. And then my second year dorm was like older. So it was like, I was like a huge downgrade. Anyways. See, I was right to worry about the boys' safety. Once Alphino returns to the wood, you can see about supper. The Ice Queen has filled a pot with what looked like stew ingredients, ready for the fire. Freeman was on the edge by the field. Okay, yeah, no, it wasn't Freeman. Caldwell, and then whatever's like right beside Caldwell, like there's like a courtyard separating them. I don't remember the name of it. Let's see. This is gonna bother me, so I'm just gonna figure it out. And that was in Center Street, third year. Center Street was where the four person apartment was. You see the map? Get this done the easy way. Okay, no, I got it backwards. I was in Folk, and then I went to Caldwell, and then I went to Center Street. There you go. Boom. No, that's not right either. Caldwell was nicer. Was it Caldwell and then Hefner? I think it was Hefner. Yeah, it was across the street. That sounds right. Yeah, I was in Caldwell, then I was in Hefner, and then I went to Center Street. I kind of like it was like you could draw a line through them. Anyways, Caldwell's next to Folk. Yeah, I went across the street though, not across the thing. So it was Caldwell, Hefner, and then Center Street. And then I went up to like Northside Drive and had an apartment up there. Anyways, once Alphino returns to the woods, we can see about supper. The Ice Queen has filled a pot with what looked like stew ingredients, ready for the fire. Freeman, Woldriff, Nelson Shell. Yeah. Yeah, the dining hall up at Caldwell definitely didn't help my my waistline freshman year. Like unlimited food practically. Anyways. Few things compare with the simple pleasure of sitting beside a crackling campfire in one's own making. So speaks the great explorer. Until recently, you wouldn't have recognized fire. What if it came with kindling and a flint? 'Tis well you instructed me so patiently, then. But yes, left to my own devices, I would have been compelled to signal to your sail. Compelled to signal to your sail with a pile of damp leaves. I was born the pampered son of a Charlian dignitary alongside my twin and became the youngest students ever to be accepted to this studium. How proud I was to match wits with scholars and philosophers, and how ignorant of mine own shortcomings. That hubris invited manipulation and betrayal and led to the downfall of the Scions. We all of us are guilty of similar ignorance. How many men lay down their lives never knowing what it is they fight for, never questioning that which they have been taught to believe? 'Twas only upon meeting Restfulger that I learned the truth hidden within our history. Were it not for that chance encounter, I would never have vowed to tear down the Holy See and expunge the falsehoods with which it fans the flames of conflict. I would have lived and died in ignorance, and that truth has driven me to do terrible things. I cannot deny that I would rather sin in the pursuit of peace than imagine myself virtuous persuading the needless war. If this journey has taught me anything, it is the importance and difficulty of holding one's convictions in the face of failure. of striving always to replace one's ignorance with knowledge. You are well on your way, Master Alphino. At your age, I was but a fool, swinging a spear with scarcely a thought in my head. Even now, I struggle to acknowledge the misconceptions under which I have labored. Sitting here amongst these grand ruins, how can I deny that man and dragon once lived in peace? But for all that such an age existed, we are now in a time of war. Nidhogg killed my family, and no quirk of history will exonerate him. I may be ignorant of how the Dragonsong War began, but if we do not put an end to this conflict now, I can say for certainty it will only breed more vengeful souls such as mine. In my hands resides the power to vanquish a great worm. If Ishgard's survival rests on me wielding that power, I will slay Nidhogg myself, orders or no. Estinian, you gave your word. My word is contingent upon the success of our parley. Show me the strength of your convictions, Lady Iceheart. Convince Hresvelger of the righteousness of your cause. Yeah, the story in Heavensward is already way better than Aroma Reborn. Doubt not, but I shall, Dragoon. Well, wind's willing, we shall have our answers on the morrow. Let us sleep now and face our fate with the rising of the sun. I can't wait to get to the newer expansions where people like go on and on about like how great Shadowbringers is. Heavensward's already pretty good. Story-wise, at least. The quests could still use some work. The story is good, but the actual like gameplay of the quest is like mind-numbingly bad. Sometimes it's just like, go kill these 3 guys. Go here, kill these 3 guys. Go talk to this guy. Pick up this item. Walk over here, trigger an enemy that'll show up, and then you kill this. And like, not only that, but like, you pretty much ignore the entire world and all the enemies around everything. It's literally always walk here, trigger enemies specifically for your quest. They show up, you kill them. Walk here, you know, kill this. Walk here, pick up this. Walk here, watch this scene. I don't know. I mean, that's true of most MMOs, but for some reason, I can't at the moment pinpoint the exact difference. But I don't know if it's variety. For some reason, I feel like the quests in WoW, the actual execution and performance of the quests is more fun. The story is better in this. Does that make sense? I'm actually like paying attention to the story and everything, and I like where it's going, and it has cutscenes and character development and stuff. Not that WoW's expansions don't have story and all that, but it's usually the story in WoW is usually tied up with what the big name characters in WoW are doing at the time, not really you yourself. I mean, they'll throw you in there as like, you're the champion or whatever, you know, but like, I don't know, it's not the same as the Warrior of Light. The story of the Warrior of Light is much more personal, I guess. I don't know. But I do have more fun doing the quests in WoW. And this one, I'm just like doing a quest to get to the next story point. And it's just mindless, like walk here, kill 3. They're always quick too. It's just like kill 3 guys, move on. I don't know if they've toned them down over the years because it's an old expansion or if it's the way it always was, but it's like the quests are like super simple and short and move on, you know? The pants we're gonna get. The non-duty, non-dungeon quests can be really bland. Yes, exactly. Now the dungeons are fun. So far, I would say that WoW has better dungeons, but I haven't seen what this one evolves into. Like if I were to compare this to like older WoW, it's about on par, I guess. You don't blame me for constantly asking when the next dungeon is? Yeah, well, I do that in a large part because I get to like do that with like you and Carnova and stuff. So it's fun to get into the multiplayer of it all. It is an MMO after all, not a single player game. But it also, like you said, the duties and the quests are the more fun part. The campfire was so cozy, I must have fallen asleep, Kupo. But you do feel the winds have shifted. They will have borne Hresvelgr back to the skies above Zenith, I'm sure of it. This is your chance to climb to the highest floor of the palace and summon him with a toot of that shiny horn. So, I'll be heading back now, if it's all the same to you. Good luck, Kupo. It was nice knowing you. You like doing the alliance raids, but sadly some have got long wait times. Well, you know, later on we could like sign up for one at the beginning of the night and hopefully get it by the end of the night kind of thing. You know, just like do, like if I'm working on like gathering or something, we could sign up for an alliance raid and then we could work on gathering or crafting or something. You know what I mean? Since I played for like 4 hours at a time, I'm sure we could get through a queue if we plan for it. We're heading for Zenith, yeah? It looks like the 622 Yalms Northwest sounds like it might be at Zenith is the next Aether Current. That's how you got BTN to 50. BTN. Still not always good on the... Botanist? Okay, yeah, botanist. I will say, I think the crafting and the gathering is cooler in this one than it is in WoW. WoW is more simplistic. In WoW, like, there's basically three gathering specs for the most part. There's mining, which is the same as here, except you just hit a node and there's different types of nodes, right? Gathering, so there's herbalism, which is like botanist. You go around, you pick plants, right? But when you go to pick them, you just right click them, they do an action, you get it, right? It's not like a involved thing. There's no menu that comes up. You don't have different options. It's you just gather, right? And then there's fishing isn't really gathering. There's brain got skinning, which is if you kill an animal, you can skin it for leather, right? And then the crafting is just you have recipes and you get more recipes and you have the specs and you make it. There's no quality things going on. There's no skills for it and all that. It's much more involved here. The music in Zenith is really good. Take it off my mount for a second so we can hear it. The west. I'm just trying to... Okay, so it's probably in that circle here, I'm guessing. Maybe, or like right over here. Here, let's get off my mount for a second. See what this music sounds like. And let's take a moment to like actually look at our surroundings. Like, this is our architecture from when man and dragon lived together, right? And look at frickin', I can't even look up any higher, but like look at frickin' Zenith, right? That's pretty cool. If this were WoW and I saw something like that, I would assume that this structure was part of a raid or a big dungeon or something. Most likely a raid. If it was this big and this intricate, I would assume there was a raid in there. Like most big, awesome looking structures like this in WoW are actually a raid. Like you like fly up there and there's an entrance to the raid, or multiple dungeons even. Maybe like Castle Nathrian or I can't remember the names of things right now. Blackwing Lair or something. Always turn off the mount music in the audio settings. That's fair. We have heard that song enough, haven't we? Northwest. Yeah, we don't have to hear the treadmill music anymore. Let's see. Under sound, maybe? System. Does it play music when mounted? Is that the setting? Yeah, did it. Nice song. Copyright claim incoming. Can't have nice songs. The Aether Current. Looks like we're gonna have a cutscene there. Is we're gonna blow the horn, right? We could finally meet the dragon. Let's see. We got one more quest we can already turn in. There'll probably be at least one with the main story, which means we're probably looking for 2 more side quests for currents, and there's still 2 more currents out and about. Next one is far to the east. Out in this area. Alright. Sometimes you'll just go to a zone to hear the music. Alright. Go to the horn. You know, we finally do catch up. Mortals, why do you disturb my solitude? Okay.
Svelga.
Thou speakest the name of a creature that but awaiteth the release of oblivion. Leave me. That's dragon speak for I'm getting too old for this shit.
By the 12. Mine ears hear the tongue of dragons, yet the meaning rings clear within my mind. How can that be?
Svelga, do you not remember me? 'Twas I whom you found in Dravania. I who glimpsed the truth. The truth about your past. About Shiva.
Do not speak her name, mortal.
But speak it I must. I have summoned Shiva's soul from the beyond and offered myself as her vessel. She has made her heart known to me.
Foolish girl, thinkest thou my beloved spirit hath descended from the heavens? Yeah, I mean, that's not really how primals work. Like the primal is like a creation from your belief. I don't think it's actually Shiva. That the secrets of her heart are thine to know.
I have surrendered mine to her. Do you not see, my love? I am Shiva reborn.
How to piss off a dragon. Gullible fool, the light but illuminated the past for thee. It did not grant thee omniscience. The spirit thou hast summoned belongs not to Sheba, but 'tis but a shade conjured by thine own fancy. In an age long past, mine own kin were guilty of like folly. Beguiled by the Dark One's lies, they attempted to resurrect a king amongst worms. Yet the divinity they called forth merely borrowed the semblance of my fallen brood brother. Such gods are not summoned, but created. Phantoms spun from the threads of misplaced faith. Yeah. When you summon a primal, you're literally creating something. You're not summoning something.
Then the spirit that answered me
was but thy dream of Shiva. Thy soul hath been corrupted by a deity of thine own making, child.
Be that as it may, Lord Hraesvelgr, Izel's desire to heal the rift between man and dragon is real, and it has borne us this far. We would spare both our kind and yours the ravages of this senseless war. Pray join your voice to ours in a call for peace and forgiveness.
He's missing an eye too. The tale of thy kind is one of avarice, treachery, and death, and thou wouldst speak to me of peace. Hark thee, mortal, to the naked truth, and then tell me thou deservest forgiveness. "1,200 years ago, my beloved Shiva's sacrifice served to bring an end to the war twixt man and dragon, paving the way for an age of peace and cooperation. 2 centuries of harmony were to follow, during which time the Elezen learned much about us, not the least that the eyes of a great worm are the wellspring of his strength. 'Twas out of the selfish desire to possess this strength that King Thordan then conspired to undo all that our people had achieved together. With the aid of his leal knights, the most noble of Elezen lured my brood sister Ratatoskr into an ambush and took from her that which he craved. Fain would I strike the image from my mind, yet still the scene doth linger, of my brood sister's tattered corpse defiled by her Elezen allies. They had torn out her eyes, feasted upon them in the manner of wild beasts. Yet that was not all. For their bloody banquet, the fiends had gained strength beyond that of mortal men, and even now I labor to comprehend the enormity of their betrayal. Nidhogg was the first to learn of the atrocity, and he took to the skies hungry for vengeance. But though he slew Thordan and some few of his knights, their fellow butchers knew only too well where to aim their spears, and now with practiced savagery they set about my brood brother, sending him flailing from the field. Such is the truth of the Holy See would keep hidden. Such was the beginning of the Dragon Song War. 'Tis a song my kind shall ne'er forget, e'en should the 10,000 years pass and Ishgard crumble into dust.
Your tale bears scant resemblance to the one I was taught. How convenient that it should absolve your kind of all responsibility. But tell me, dragon, why should I believe your version of events?
Because he was actually there. What thou choosest to believe is immaterial. The betrayal that yet haunts mine every waking moment is no less than the truth to my kind. And Nidhogg meaneth for Thornton's people to suffer for this sin till the end of days. That which thou imaginest a war of extinction is but a punishment, a siege of the spirit. Hast thou not seen those who tire of the torment, those who abandon their own and side with dragon kind?
Ishgard's so-called heretics.
Know that all the traitor's progeny bear a trace of Ratatosk's essence, but a single sip of our blood is enough to awaken it.
Then the seed lies within us.
'Tis for this reason that those who abandon their loyalties are rewarded with a drink, and thus are they transformed to join the ranks of Nidhogg's ever-growing army as newborn dragons. One by one, through death or defection, my blood brother shall account for all the betrayer's children.
Ye gods, I have borne witness to such a transformation. Looked on as a heretic assumed the shape of a dragon. I imagined it some manner of Dravanian enchantment. But if any Ishgardian, regardless of allegiance, has such potential within them, 12 forgive us. To think of all the dragons we've slain.
There will always be some, of course, who choose to fight until the bitter end like thee, Dragoon. But struggle as thou might, thy youthful vigor will be spent ere thou reachest 210, and Nidhogg shall remain to torment thine own offspring.
Oft have I wondered why Nidhogg did not simply raze Ishgard to the ground. Now I have my answer. He has no intention of winning the Dragonsong War, for it is no war at all, but vengeance, an eternal requiem sung for his murdered sister.
Thou hast the right of it, Dragon Slayer. Comprehendest thou the futility of thy quest?
I have not come this far only to admit defeat. We can still return the eye to Nidhogg and beg forgiveness for our ancestors' crimes. Mayhap our words will sway him.
Stubborn child, thou thinkest in mortal terms. Our perception of time is too broad for thee to grasp. 'Tis a simple matter for thee to offer thine apologies. Thou didst not perpetrate the crime. Despite thy visions, the deed of history seemed distant to thee. For a worm such as Nidhogg, however, that history is yet part of his present, as fresh as the blood that did gush from Ratatosker's wounds. How could he not be driven mad? It is only by the calming embrace of Shiva's soul that mine own fury hath not consumed me. But let us speak no more of what is done. My faith in your kind is spent, and I would be alone. Well, that went well. That's some, like, Attack on Titan vibes from that. Any of you can turn into dragons. Alright. Restfilger was every bit as awe-inspiring as I imagined. His voice fairly dripped with power. The will behind his words was so undeniable that it transcended my ignorance of the dragon's tongue. It is but a pity that I misliked what he said. So far did we travel, even unto the very heavens themselves, only to be dismissed like unruly children. And far from mitigating this humiliation, the hidden truths we learned only served to prove that our grand mission of peace was destined to fail from the first. Nothing will deter Nidhogg from his course. Rough. That's another thing about Final Fantasy XIV so far.
I, for one, am intent on continuing to the east.
You want to keep going east. Okay. That's one other thing about Final Fantasy XIV so far that I'll say is that so far the itemization is like super boring. It's like grab the one with the highest item level. They're all just like slightly higher stat bumps. Maybe it'll have a materia slot. I hope that gets better in later expansions or in raids or whatever, because like there's like no thought whatsoever that goes into what item I should wear. It's like, oh, this one's slightly stronger. They're all the same thing. Well, what do you propose we do now? I, for one, am intent on continuing to the east.
What is there to be found in the east?
Nidhogg's lair, the Eyrie, is said to lie in that direction. And the eye tells me he is near.
Items are totally boring. See, that sucks.
You cannot still mean to slay him.
Why wouldn't they put some effort into that? Like, that's just sad.
You cannot still mean to stop me. I have been true to my word and aided you in this fool's errand with Hraesvelgr.
No, they could still have the glam and have good items. I mean, you could glamour good items, you know? Yeah. That's one thing I miss from WoW too, is just being able to like have interesting equipment or find a legendary with a cool ability. You cannot mean to stop me. I have been true to my word and aided you in this fool's errand with Hraesvelgr.
But your efforts at parley have come to naught, Lady Iceheart. I would see Ishgard saved, and for that, Nidhogg must die.
If you kill Nidhogg, though, you might make Hraesvelgr mad enough to fight you.
With the tale of our ancestors' vile betrayal yet ringing in your ears, you speak of continuing this war?
Your ancestors are wrong, but like they are trying to kill the Ishgardians. So I mean, like, what's he supposed to do? We just got told we can't stop Nidhogg, and you don't want to fight Nidhogg. We're supposed to let him kill everybody? Like, he's not even going to. He's just going to torture you.
I would but pierce its vengeful heart. When Nidhogg dies, this war shall die with him.
I mean, I don't know if that's true, but...
A moment, Estinian. You yourself spoke of the Great Worm's strength, that you believed him powerful enough to raise your city to the ground. How then are we few to challenge him? Even behind the stout walls of Ishgard, with an army of knights manning the defenses, our victory would be hard won. Yet you propose to contend with the beast in his own lair.
Yeah, it's not the best plan. And he'll know you're coming because you're carrying his eye. Not the best plan at all. You know, I wonder what kind of powers the Holy See is hiding too. How much you want to bet they have like a dragon eye they're leeching off of, or some kind of crazy powers or whatever, and we'll end up fighting them eventually too, right?
In close combat, this will afford us an advantage. And if the tales are true, the Warrior of Light has bested many an invincible foe.
I mean, that's true, but I'm guessing this is kind of like Nidhogg might be like a raid level enemy, you know? Like, we're not going to do it by ourselves, Estinian.
But such speculation is meaningless if we cannot even find the worm. Our first task must be to seek out Nidhogg's lair.
Fair.
The story of this nation grows bloodier by the moment. Must death always be answered with more of the same?
Such is the way of things, I fear. I shall consider it a miracle if mine armor is not stained crimson ere this conflict is ended.
Our new armor's starting to shape up. The set that we're currently getting from the main story.
That I should be blinded by my own lies. Everything I believed, everything I thought I was, gone. All gone.
I mean, you didn't really summon Shiva, but on the upside, you created a really powerful being that you can call on to win fights for you, although you kind of lost last time you tried to do it and the time before that. But I mean, you know, it's going to become in handy, right? You made yourself like a half primal. That's pretty impressive.
Your words will not reach her now. And we have not the time to wait for her to gather up the pieces of her shattered faith.
Nice heart, I'll be fine. She'll get over it. Give her some time. All right, to the worm's lair. That sounds fun. Let's see where we're going this time. Not a bit. Ah, down here. Let's go ahead and teleport down. So I'm guessing that when we get to Nidhogg's lair, that might be the dungeon. Maybe. Although I doubt we'll fight Nidhogg in a 4-man dungeon. We still might fight his lair as a 4-man dungeon. They've kind of built Nidhogg up. I assume he's bigger than 4-man. Oh, alright. Head far to the east, it looks like. There are some other story beats to take care of before the dungeon, so he has a few quests to go. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how far I have to go. I was just guessing that the what do you call it? The Airy or whatever would be the dungeon, maybe? The Nidhogg's lair. I'm not even sure if that's true. It's just a guess. Alright, so we got a quest point over here. We're getting closer to the Aether point. You can't target them until you trigger the circle. The Airy is one of your favorite main story dungeons in Heavenward? So it is called the Airy? Sweet. Got it right. Cool, cool, cool. Past these Archaeosaurs. We're getting close to the next Aether Current. Probably right up here by this quest. Oh, it's right there. Right there. Right. I think there only leaves one more freestanding Aether Current in this zone. You've just been standing in Limsa watching? That's cool, man. I'm always glad to have viewers, you know, that are actually watching. Level 50 botanist quest is a pain. You can only do it at a certain time in game. Gotcha. Sounds rough. Like a time of day, basically. Oh, we got another side quest up here, which is probably another one of the Aether Currents we're missing. Moon-eyed Moogle. Side quest is to kill those mobs. Yeah, I want to read the side quest though, and I can't do that while I'm fighting. I'm sure there's plenty of them. Whatever can be taking her so long, Koopa? My replacement should have been here already. I don't see her anywhere. I'm so hungry. I wager she went home on account of the troublesome Tullahans that are flapping about. If you slay 4 of them, that should secure a safe path, giving my replacement no excuse. Please, my stomach begs you, Koopa. Alright, so we gotta kill 4 of the guys I just killed. Let's go grab the main quest while we're here. We're also super close to the Aether Point. It's like right nearby. Right there. That's the last freestanding Aether Current, I think. Yep. We've already got 1 quest. We just picked up another quest. That leaves 2 more. One of them's probably part of the main story. The last quest in the main story in a zone seems to be giving you an Aether Current. That means there's 1 more side quest we need to find. Theoretically. And we'll be able to fly here.
Is that it?
Whoa. We might need flight to get up there.
Aye, that would be the Airy.
Probably some kind of
I feel
taxi
Nidhogg's
service.
presence through the eye. His caustic hatred gnawing at my soul.
That was one thing they introduced in Burning Crusade when they first made flight and WoW. Some of the dungeons at max level, you had to have flight to get to the dungeon. Aye, that would be the area. Okay, I'm not a soul. Yep.
'Twould seem the death of his consort has put him on guard. Mark how he wards his lair with tempestuous winds.
A similar barrier once barred our entrance to the Primal Garuda's domain, until we discovered the means by which it could be penetrated. Mayhap it is time we called upon Master Garland. It will be just like the good old days, no?
You can have Garland fly his airship in there for us. Cool. Don't mind having sit around. New winds, old friends. A force of sufficient power to break through a primal's defenses might conceivably grant us access to the Airy. And I can offer no better solution. Pray consult this engineer friend of yours. Very well, on the condition that you swear not to lure Nidhogg from his lair in our absence. And steal all the glory for myself, you mean? Nay, I am not so selfish as that. Contact me by Link Pearl when your preparations are complete, and we shall set forth from Ishgard together. I suggest we rendezvous back at Saint Rene's Forum. Elheim, from what I gleaned of the Holy See decidedly ambitious airship project, Sid will still be in Ishgard. Okay, alright, we got some guys to kill around here. Oh, dang it. Another thing I'll say about WoW is like in WoW, and maybe this is just a skill level thing, but I feel a lot more confident like fighting multiple enemies at a time in WoW. Like if I was playing a paladin in WoW, I would just gather up like 4 of those guys at once and kill them. You know? Or like I'd run up here and I'd hit this one, hit that one over there, and kill them all at once. And I feel like I could do that on a Dark Knight too. This, and then over to this one, and that, you know, and then like that. Didn't need to do that one yet. Where's our... Oh, our AoE's down right now. I would probably start doing some AoE. And while I'm sure I can do it here, I'm just more confident in WoW. You know what I mean? This is definitely the way you should do it. Fighting them one at a time is like a loser's game. Take forever. But here I am taking damage, right? Quite a lot of damage, actually. I'm gonna die. I want to have enough to heal myself. Now we're down to 1, we'll be fine. Anyways, so we won. But like, that was rough. Have a chocobo heal you while you fight? Yeah, I haven't even like done the whole fighting with the chocobo thing. Overworld mob tuning is super weird in this game. Yeah. Overworld mob tuning has changed a lot in WoW in recent years too, because they have like level scaling now, which they didn't used to have, but still very doable. You always have your chocobo out. I haven't even used my chocobo yet. I gotta like buy like Gesho greens or something. Like, I've never felt like I needed any help on a fight, really, for the most part. Thank you. Now that the tool hands are out of the way, it's only a matter of time before my replacement gets here, and I'm about to pass out from hunger, so I think I'll go ahead. What could go wrong, Kupo? Okay. Get another one over here. That'll be the one we're missing. And then there'll be a main story one, probably. Let's jump over here and grab this quest. Because this will be this one, plus the one we can already turn in, plus one more from the end of the main story for the zone should be enough to give us flight. Right? Assuming this is an Aether Current, which I assume it is. You have a few times fighting in the open world where your chocobo saved you because the mobs wandered over. Yeah. I've died like that before. Well, like earrings we don't need. But Aether Current, so worthwhile. Hide and seek seemed like a fun game at first, but I have no idea everyone will be so good at it. Now I just want to go home. Could you find the other 3 Moogles and tell them it's time to leave, Kupo? More hide and seek, huh? We had to bring this quest back. Play hunt down the mob. Go up there. I fell asleep in my hiding place. I think I'll return to my comfy bed. There's one across the way. I can see him from here. And there's one down there. Okay. Can't believe you found me. I'll find an even better hiding spot next time, Kupo. Alright, let's figure out. Get up top over here. I like how you unlock flying like a zone at a time by I like the way they implemented unlocking flying here. That's pretty good. It makes you do the zone without flying, basically, but it then gives it to you pretty much directly afterwards with just a little bit of effort. You actually found me. Oh, well, I suppose it's time to go home, Kupo. You know, once we finish Final Fantasy XIV, we get completely caught up with the main story, and we're actually to the point where we can raid the newest content. I might start doing a similar playthrough for WoW, like make a level 1 character and go through all the expansions and everything. We'll do like a World of Warcraft Lore Master run or something. Like I can make a new account. I have to make a new account because I already have Lore Master. But it'd be cool to like unlock Lore Master. So you know, Lore Master it used to be the achievement. You get a title for doing it. It used to be the achievement for doing every quest in the game, pretty much, right? The way they've revamped the quests now, each zone in the game has like its own little main storyline. Like not every quest in the zone is required to complete the zone quest-wise. And Lore Master requires you to complete every single zone in the game. So you don't have to do every quest, but you have to do like every main quest for every zone. Because like, so the way it works in WoW is like each zone has its own self-contained story, sort of, which usually complements the story of the expansion as a whole, more or less. But you can, a lot of times you can do the zones in any order. You don't, oh, I understand if you don't want to join me playing WoW, yeah. I don't even know what it costs now. I mean, you don't have to buy all the expansions. WoW just like gives you most of them for free, but I'm not even, yeah, you don't have to. I don't even know how much it costs to buy WoW nowadays. I think nowadays you only have to buy like the newest expansion or the newest 2 expansions, and then like the rest of them you just kind of get. But I don't remember how it works. It doesn't really matter. If you don't want to play WoW, that's cool. It'd be cool if you watched it. But you know, it's a long way off. We're gonna do Final Fantasy XIV first. Like if I keep liking this, I mean, we could keep doing more MMOs. I could just keep Wednesday being MMO day on the stream, right? We'll do Final Fantasy XIV. We could do Lore Master and WoW. We could do Guild Wars 2. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of really cool ones. I like having an MMO day. You don't remember your logging or even an old copy? Yeah. Unbelievable. You've already found all the Moogles? Finally, we can go home. I've never seen such skill for seek in my life, Kupo. Sorry to make you find everyone. We usually don't hide this well. You'll be the first one we invite to our next game. All right. So, we got another one we can turn in. Over here. Killing me here. Over here. And then I believe that should leave us with just one missing, which I will probably be from the end of the main quest for this zone, right? Go ahead and turn this in real quick. And then we can head back to the capital, Ishgard. You'd be tempted to play Final Fantasy XI with... Oh, that's a good idea too, especially since we're in the Final Fantasy thing. I've never played through Final Fantasy. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, let's back up a second. Would you two be interested in playing Final Fantasy XI with me after I finished 14? It'll be months from now. You know, it may be the end of the year. I don't know how long it'll take me to get through 14. But like, and I say that because I'd be interested in doing 11 to complete the Final Fantasy franchise thing, but you can't play 11 solo. You know what I mean? Like, playing 11 solo is not really a thing. You have to have parties, even for just doing questing. Yeah, I know it takes a little more time. It's an old school RPG, MMO. Yeah, it's a long way away. We can figure it out when we get there. But that's an idea. I'd be up for it, I think. Or at least to try it. We could do like the original and see how it goes. I mean, there's a lot of expansions. Yeah, when are they going to shut down the servers? It's probably coming up, actually. I'm curious now. We're going to take a quick thing to check it. So I've got an article from a year ago that said that Square announced that they had funding for at least 3 more years before they would shut down the servers. So we got at least 2 more years. But there's no guarantee they'll shut it down. I mean, as long as people keep paying for the game, they might just keep it going. They're not going to be putting any time to make new content in it probably, but many thanks, brave adventurer. Finally, I can enjoy a bath without the smell of raw dragonfish assaulting my senses. Say, a dip in the waters might serve to freshen you up as well, Kupo. Like, if you think about it, like, as long as there's a big enough player base that keeps playing the game, there's no reason for them to ever shut down the servers. Like, they could stop making new content, but I mean, look at EverQuest. EverQuest is still going. Like, people still play, I mean, like, the original EverQuest. Older than WoW. Alright. Turn that in. And yeah, we got 1 left. Cool. I have to make another day just for Final Fantasy XI. If you want to do the story, it may be a dated looking game, but it's really fun. I'm not going to do Final Fantasy XI before I catch all the way up in 14. Like, I'm not really looking to do 2 MMOs at the same time. I might get to the point where Final Fantasy 14 is sort of on like farm mode, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm at the end and I can do raids and there's not much else to do. I've already gotten to the end of the main story. Then I'd be looking to do something like Final Fantasy 14 or WoW. But I'm not going to do it before then. I'm not going to try and do like 2 full MMOs simultaneously. I'm not going to do like Tuesdays Final Fantasy 11 and Wednesdays Final Fantasy 14. I'll be like, Wednesday's now going to be Final Fantasy 11 and it'll also be 14 on raid nights or something. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see how it goes, because I don't know. All right, so let's go back to Foundation. You like 11 over WoW just because 1 character, all the jobs? Eh. And it's not as big a deal in WoW because unlike Final Fantasy 11 and 14, it's not as hard to level up in WoW. It's not as hard to get from bottom to like. I could have gotten, like, in the time I've been playing Final Fantasy 14, I could have gotten like 6 classes to max level in WoW. Like, you don't play through the entire game. The way WoW's set up now, when you start, because WoW has like how many expansions? It's got, there's the base game, there's Burning Crusade, there's Wrath of the Lich King. I'm not gonna remember them all. Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria, Battle for Azeroth, Warlords of Draenor. There's the new one that's out now. There's Legion. There's like 9 or 10 different, like there's like 8 or 9 expansions plus the base game, right? In WoW though, the way they have it set up now, you do the first 10 levels and then you pick one of those. And you only do the one. You don't do like every single expansion when you're leveling a character. You do just one of them. And then you're at max level. Well, and then you get to the current expansion actually. And then the last 10 levels are in the current expansion. But like from 10 to 50 is just one expansion. You don't do every single one on one character. So it's much quicker to get from level 1 to level 60 in WoW than it is to level all the way up in 14. Like, it's way quicker. All right, it's up there. Leveling in Final Fantasy 11 after 1 noon you spent gathering level 1 to about 11. I don't know if that counts. Like 1 to 11, I'm sure it's probably a lot faster than like 11 to 20. You know what I mean? Like, Like, I never really count 1 to 10 when I'm figuring out how long something's gonna hit the level, because 1 to 10 is always super fast. And in Final Fantasy XI, everything's super slow. It gets slower. When last you saw Master Garland, he was advising the Ishgardians on their ailing airship, correct? In that case, he might still be at Camp Cloudtop. Failing that, we could try the airship landing, maybe even Skysteel Manufactory. But let's not waste time searching aimlessly. Someone in the city is sure to know where to find him. The question is who? Sir Amric would seem the obvious choice, but there's no guaranteeing he'll be able to grant us an audience at such short notice. Ah, I have it. Count Edmont's youngest son prides himself on knowing all the Holy Sea's juiciest rumors. Let us return to the manor and see if Lord Emanelian is about. Emanelian? I wonder if you can reevac your old account next time you have money. I mean, if I were you and you really wanted to do it with us, I would hold off and wait until we're going to do it. Because if you go and reactivate it now, you'll burn yourself out on Final Fantasy XI before we even get to it. You know? Like, I still have all the rest of Heavensward and 2 whole more expansions and in-game raiding to do before I'm even thinking about doing this. And I only play 1 night a week on this game, so. Welcome, Mistress Gilded. Shall I show you inside the manor? Yes. Played for about 8 years straight. You did not get burnt out. I mean, fair enough, man. Each their own. You stopped because of a dead PC. The hero returns. How goes the fight, old girl? Well, I trust him. In search of Sid Garland, you say. Say no more. The taverns are full of talk. The name of this silver-haired genius has cropped up more than most. I hear he's been tasked with getting that monstrous airship the Holy See commissioned to actually fly. It would seem the project has been plagued with mishaps from the first. In any case, Garland Ironworks employees are known to frequent the airship landing, and I'll wager that their master does too. The airship landing, yes, I thought as much. Come, Elheim. We must find Sid and trouble him for his expert opinion. Let's take a look at our new armor. Not bad. It's pretty cool. I like it. I approve. Got like a hair thing going on in the back there. We got some cool horns. We got some nice embellishments. Cool horns. It's understated but awesome. Not bad. It looks more like Warrior than Dark Knight, but then it's like the leveling gear. It's not the nice gear, right? You like the job armor I get at 60? I bet it does. Yeah, the job armor is always going to look the best, probably. Your ship's over here, isn't it? Oh, and if we do WoW too, there's also WoW Classic, which is a whole different beast. Alright. Elheim, Alphino, how fare you both? Not terribly well, judging by your faces. Greetings, Master Garland. I'm sure you come to no surprise when I tell you we need a favor. Another wind barrier? You say it was conjured by Nidhogg? The Enterprise could certainly take you where you need to go, but she would not fare well against dragons. She's agile for a ship her size, but not that agile. The Dravanians would fly rings around her. And if they took it to their heads to incinerate the rigging, there'd be precious little we could do to avoid them. But there must be something we can do, some manner of weapon we could employ. Estinian stands vigil at the edge of churning mists, but we do not know how much longer. Alright. I didn't say it was impossible. I said it was impossible for the Enterprise. We need a smaller boat. Biggs, Wedge, it's time we gave the new toy of yours a proper field test. It's probably best if let the lads show you. Come on, the manufacturer's not far. Okay. And we're off. Alright, we're heading to the Skysteel Manufactory. This is where the machinists come to do their job quests. Our little project's just inside. Oh, you're gonna like this one. Yep.
Feast your eyes upon our latest and greatest feat of engineering. We call it a mana cutter.
A mana cutter. Hmm. Okay.
After you put down Gaius, Wedge and me struck out on our own for a bit and started work on the successor to the tiny Bronco.
Impressive little thing.
You gotta love them reusing all the airship names.
Has plainly rubbed off on them.
Tiny Bronco being the ships you get in Final Fantasy VII, Enterprise being from 3, and originally Star Trek. Impressive, yeah. Or was Enterprise? Enterprise was 3, right?
They've adapted the principles of
Or 2?
corrupted crystal
3?
technology and constructed a mechanism which converts ether from its surroundings into elemental wind. Said wind is then harnessed by the specially engineered sails, providing the craft with propulsion and lift. All in all, a most elegant solution.
Enterprise was 4. No. It's gonna bother me. I'm just gonna look it up. The Final Fantasy 1, you just had an airship. It was the airship. Final Fantasy 2, you fought the Dreadnought, and then Cid's airship. I don't think it had a name. It was just Cid's airship. Final Fantasy 3, you had the Enterprise, and then the Nautilus and the Invincible. But the first one was the Enterprise. That was from 3. In 4, you also got the Enterprise, and then the Falcon, and then the Lunar Whale. But it came from 3. 4 reused it as well. 6, you get the Blackjack, and then you get the Falcon again, which is another, nod back to 4. And then 7, you had the Tiny Bronco, which wasn't an airship, and then the Highwind is the airship. Named after Cid Highwind. And I'm not going to read past that because I don't want to see anything about 8. Anyways. Yeah, it came from 3. 4 just used the name again. But I mean, they both came from Star Trek, really, right? They've adapted the principles of the corrupted crystal technology. Yeah, right.
I'm actually a little upset that I didn't think of it myself.
The design does, however, come with one small flaw.
The energy conversion ratio is bloody awful. To generate enough power to get you off the ground, you need to be in an area awash with predominantly wind-aspected ether.
It only works in certain places.
In other words, there are a few places you can fly, lots of places you can't.
The new Ishgardian airship hasn't left the boys much time for tinkering, meaning it may be a while before this particular project takes off, if you'll forgive the pun.
Tataru, what's happened?
I've been looking all over for you. There's been word from Aldar. It's about Her Grace the Sultana.
What about her?
It seems you're required elsewhere.
I mean,
Leave the mana cutter with us. We'll see that she's airworthy and
she's still missing, assumed dead, although we know she's not dead. Fetch quest time.
meanwhile,
Wah, wah.
concentrate on providing Rauban and the Sultana whatever help they need.
Oh, not fetch quest time. Yay! All right. Get ourselves a new belt. General Raban says they may have uncovered the Sultana's whereabouts. And he wants you, by which I mean both of you, to go to the Waking Sands right away and help with the investigation. Come, Elheim. Pressing through Ishgard's plight may be... Our presence here will not serve to hasten the manufacture's completion. Let us return to the troubled lands of Thanland and lend what aid we can. Itaru, have our friends at the congregation send a message to Estinian. Tell him that we have identified a solution to our problem, but that it will take some time to prepare. As you wish, Master Alphino. The Waking Sands, Warrior of Light. His past time, Ul'dah was delivered from this darkness. Oh man. For a short time, we had, you know... Sorry. We had escaped the Waking Sands. But we always knew we'd be pulled back. May return.
Thank you for coming.
Raban! Looking good, man.
Necessary, General. I trust your recuperation continues apace.
I cannot complain. Thanks to Higiri and her ministrations, I've regained much of the strength I lost during my imprisonment.
Maybe you should wear the sword on the other side, considering your arm situation.
In the search for her grace.
Aye, some good fortune at last. A few days past, Dulala informed us that a sizable shipment of alchemical supplies had been delivered to the palace.
Like, you'd have to draw it like this, right? Or like... You just kind of like throw it up in the air.
I set out to ascertain the source and nature of the shipment. My inquiries led me to Frondale's frontistery.
I don't know what it is about Pippin. I feel like they spent extra time on Pippin. Someone at Final Fantasy likes Pippin a lot.
There, I learned that an order had been placed for a curious substance designed to sustain patients trapped in death-like slumber. An invention of the former head alchemist, apparently.
Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and guess Pippin's gonna become like a long time recurring character. I like him. He's cool.
A death-like slumber? This cannot be a coincidence.
It lends some weight to Dulala's claims, aye. Her grace is likely somewhere within the palace, abed but alive.
Before making any attempt to extricate the Sultana, however, it seemed prudent to learn what manner of substance was used to induce her torpor. To that end, I made inquiries as to the whereabouts of the one most like to have administered it. The lady-in-waiting, Meriel. We sent for you as soon as we learned of her location. All that remains is to apprehend the woman.
Okay.
We shall find our cat's paw in the Silver Bazaar. But we must tread carefully. The market is not the bustling place it once was, and someone is sure to mark our coming. Should they inform the monetarists, we'll have a fight on our hands. We must be prepared for the worst, and being short an arm, I thought it wise to take another in its stead. What say you, Warrior of Light? Will you lend me yours?
Of course.
Then I pity the bastard that stands in our way. Come, my friend, for Nanamo, and for Ul'dah!
It's interesting how Final Fantasy, and they did this in A Realm Reborn too, or at least in the pre-patch quests. Like, they'll have multiple stories going on that you just move between, right? Like there's the whole Dravanian war in Ishgard, and there's like the fallout of the coup in Ul'dah, you know, and there's like something else going on, and like you just kind of jump between the two, like you're doing two different stories at the same time. Our target is Mariel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting, a woman of Midlander heritage. I'm told the two of you have met. Our sources indicate that she left the palace shortly after the incident and quietly joined the dwindling population of the Silver Bazaar. I suggest we begin by questioning the market residents and confirming that Mariel is still in hiding there. Yeah, they do a good job. There's a quest here. I'm gonna guess it's like another like extreme mode or something, but let's go check it out. An unidentified primal. When the Cinerary moon did wane, there sounded a blood-curdling roar. A new primal has roused. Portents gave us to believe the one whose identity yet lieth beyond our kin. By thy hand, 3 primals have since been vanquished, and each returned in the aether. It was observed that tremors foreshadowing this 4th primal grew strength and frequency both. The being doth quicken, and in time it shall become a scourge upon the land. Yet even as we pondered a course of action, a benevolent soul did arise, one who would forestall this threat. Though she be tender in years, she is true of heart and steadfast in resolve. She would solicit thine aid, if thou art willing to proffer it. Lest thou wonder, this maiden is of our order. Thus did the antecedent straightways consent that thou shouldst assist her in however thou mayest. As soon as thou art able, hie thee to Wineport, while thy petitioner doth await thee even now. Thou shalt of certainty find her visage strikingly familiar. Why don't you just tell me who it is then? EX Primal Quests, yeah. It's decided. The stance of the Scions must evolve from shifting sands to unyielding stone. My place, however, is here in this land of unending tragedy. Ere must I remain, until the true nature of the Primals is revealed unto me. Many seasons did I toil and fashion a net across this vast realm, a net that catcheth not fish, but nuggets of wisdom more valuable than gold. I know it's just an unlock quest. It even possesseth of his hoard of my knowledge that cannot purchase all the keys to the confounded doors that bar my passage. Thus must I presume to unsheath the blade born of light. Thine as a strength that shattereth the stoutest barriers and doth pierce that which obscureth the most impotent gaze of ordinary men. We have not the luxury of time required for my measured scholarly pace. For the adder's nest is astir, hissing with the news of Garuda's return. Her winds have grown ever more violent, ever more destructive. Okay, so it's Garuda Extreme or whatever. What's good? I'm just gonna pick him up. I'll unlock him at some point. Oh, I should do the mysterious individual one real quick. Okay. That's what, Wineport? Oh, it's Alice A. Alice A. It's been a wild adventure. As I recall, my brother Alfino took the liberty of introducing us when we first and last we met. But for the sake of propriety, Alice Levier, I thank you for coming. I have heard much and more of your exploits. By your hand, the Black Wolf is slain and his ultimate weapon destroyed. You are possessed of great strength and courage, that much is plain. I shall have need of one such as you if we are to see my mission through to its conclusion. As you may be aware, the violence of Dalamud's fall have changed not only the face of the realm, but also the base of the realm. Specifically, it played havoc with the etheric currents, creating vast confluences of aether below the surface. Among other phenomena, this led to the formation of subterranean caverns at key points of stress. One such cavern beneath Castrum Occidens and extends to only the gods knows where. Despite appearances, Castrum Occidens is as much a research facility as it is a fortress. Gaius von Belsar chose the site for no other reason than to probe the caverns without interference. As you went about vanquishing the returned primals, I observed a repeating wave pattern in Aether, corresponding exactly to the dates for which you were reported to have felled Ifrit, Titan, and Garuda, and upon closer examination it became clear that these unique waveforms emanated from deep beneath the aforementioned stronghold. Crucially, I recorded the same pattern during the recent celebrations and have since been given to understand that this phenomenon bears a disquieting similarity to one observed shortly prior to the calamity. 5 years ago, my grandfather invoked the power of the 12 that he might contain Bahamut. Alas, his efforts failed, and he vanquished together with his foe. I would know the truth of what transpired that day, of grandfather's fate, and of the metamorphosis that swept across the land. In casting light upon these mysteries, we will find a way to cure what ails this world. It is my belief that the answers I seek lie hid within the depths of the cavern. I would have you accompany me on the expedition to find the Melheim. Truth be told, I am not wont to rely upon others, and have thus far handled matters alone. Yet I am not blind to my limitations. Unescorted, I cannot hope to succeed in this endeavor. I swore that I would find a way to restore peace to Eorzea. If you desire the self-same, then aid me, as you aided my brother and the Scions. I am in your debt. You are a woman of action, and I sense that we will accomplish much together. But let us not waste any more time. As I mentioned, Castrum Occidens straddles the cavern I wish to explore, and if I am to have a hope of reaching it alive, I will need you to infiltrate the stronghold first and locate a path into the depths. Once you have done so, pray report your success to Storm Private Jabroka. You may consider her my assistant here in Wineport. I have every faith that you will not fail me. 12 speed your way, Elheim. New thingamamoos it. Alright. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is the other quest. Oh, there's more here too. Oh, that's the carpentry quest. I keep I have so many like class quests I just haven't picked up because I don't want them right now. Elheim, the Scions. Might I deduce from your stern expression that you have heard the disturbing news? I agree to returns. All right. It's Garuda. Yeah. I should have just stayed in Wineport. I'm gonna buy it. Okay. Don't mind me, guys. Fight your way through. That's what I did. Yep. Definitely fought it. You guys saw it. Whew. The Empire knows better than to test me right now. I've been expecting you, Elheim. By your coming, I take it you have successfully located the cavern entrance inside Castrum Occidens. So that's where it's to be found. Marvelous. Oh, allow me to properly introduce myself. Jabroka is my name. It is my honor to serve Lady Alisaie. Though for reasons of convenience at present, I also serve the Maelstrom. This uniform accords me with certain privileges, you see, in particular ready access to the Maelstrom's regional scouting reports. They provide a wealth of local knowledge, including information on secret passages. But enough about me. I shall notify Lady Alisaie of your discovery that she may prepare for the expedition. Though I don't doubt your abilities, none can say what dangers lurk beneath Castrum Occidens. For my lady's sake, as well as your own, please spare neither preparation nor caution. Pray choose your companions well. Oh, it's right here? Okay. Oh, that's the binding coils of Bahamut. Oh. Oh, okay, it's unlocked then. Hold on. Oh. We did. I didn't even think about it. We never really unlocked that, did we? Yeah, it's the first time we've seen Alisaie since we first met her. Oh, I need to go to the Silver Bazaar. I don't know why I came here. Right. What's the quickest way to get there? From Horizon? Go to Horizon. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking here. I knew better. And what brings you to our lovely little hamlet? I believe the arrival of your entourage has just about doubled our population. Looking for Mariel, you say. If you're hoping to lure her back to Old Daw, you may as well give up now. The girl's done with city life. Do I know of any returning residents? Gods, don't tell me they're starting to come back. My masters will not be pleased to hear of this. Mariel, aye, she's here. Left the city for good, she says. Barely leaves her house, though. Well, the closest to the market's entrance. Right? Find Mariel. Jedi Dragon. The name.
You are Meriel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting?
I know no one of that name. Pray excuse me.
I wonder where he was.
General Alden.
We will have the truth from you, girl.
It's her realizing she has no options. Oh, hello.
Mayhap it would be better coming from me.
Lolorito.
Lolorito, you'd best talk fast.
As you know, Teleji Adeleji's Cartano reclamation bill was no more than a facade. A means to get his grubby little hands on that Allagan monstrosity Omega. When he learned of Nanamo's intention to abdicate, however, he was forced to amend his plans. Suddenly, assassination seemed the most promising way to further his ambitions. I am told Teleji had discovered a maid in whose veins ran the blood of House Thorn. A new, more pliable puppet to sit the throne. 'Twould have caused an uproar, of course, but few could have contested her claim. 'Twas plain that Teleji's wild machinations had outgrown our ability to control them. So I decided to usurp his scheme and left the fool to seal his own demise.
And what of Nanamo?
Oh, I have no desire to harm her grace. 'Twould profit me little to destabilize our government. Thus did I employ young Meriel here to administer a potent sleeping potion in place of a poison. You should know, General, that your dear friend Ilberd was fully aware of my plan. I had him lie about the assassination as a means to prime your rage against Teleji. We weren't entirely sure how you would react, but things went rather better than expected.
You conniving little worm! You had your claws in the Crystal Braves before their first recruit had sworn to serve!
But of course, when a new game begins, 'tis only prudent to have a piece on the board. Ilberd was mine. Truth be told, a significant proportion of the Braves' initial endowment was also mine. With such large sums moving about, 'twas a rather trifling matter to disguise my own contribution. Ah, Ilberd. I secured his services with a promise to support his cause once my authority had been solidified. I swear, the man thinks of naught but prizing Alamigo from the grasp of the Empire. Unlike you, General, the poor fellow seems quite unable to forsake the land of his forefathers. Mayhap that's why he called you a traitor to your people and a disgrace to your homeland, amongst other things. What was it he always compared you to? Oh, yes, an overgrown lapdog begging for scraps at the Sultana's table. Oh, how we laughed. Alas, Ilberd's entertaining little outbursts eventually gave way to wearisome tirades, and the zealous brute became rather unruly. I had no wish to see you executed, you understand, but He would not take no for an answer. Rest assured, his employment with me has long since ended.
Yeah, we didn't do anything to help him.
Which brings us neatly to the present. What say you, General? Both you and the Sultana are alive. We have one corpse and one fugitive. And preparations have been made to restore your good name. Shall we cry quits and start again with a blank ledger?
The hells we will! Do you honestly expect me to forgive and forget? After all you've done? You're guilty of high treason!
Stay your blade, Master Alden. You yourself are not innocent. Or have you forgotten your own crime in executing Teleji Adeleji without trial? Though you acted out of loyalty to the Sultana, such deeds are in violation of both the word and spirit of the law. If you would, Lord Lolorito?
This potion will wake the Sultana from her slumber. Consider it a gesture of conciliation. You will find her grace resting comfortably within her private chambers. Should you doubt my word, I shall willingly accompany you to the palace as your hostage.
I like not your motives, Lolorito. But you saved the Sultana's life, and for that, you have my gratitude.
Rauban Aldin, you are hereby reinstated as General of the Immortal Flames. The citizens of Ul'dah shall once more be united under Nanamo Ul'Namo, and together we shall usher in a new age of prosperity.
She's still over here. Are you? Come with her. Oh. Interesting. By the 12, I feared Lord Lolorito's arrival would herald another bloodbath, and little did I suspect that he of all people would gift us the means to rouse the Sultana. Yeah, I mean, but he won. He got everything he wanted. Shall we also make our way to Ul'dah? I should imagine Bartholomew has been instructed to admit us. Right. Hey, Turd Burglar. Welcome back, man. I'm just gonna go ahead and guess we're going to the Chamber of Rule. My eyes are bothering me. Alright. Yep. Flame General Waban mentioned you might be coming. Please, this way if you will. Literally looking for her, and she's just in her room. Good night, turd burglar. Got a Moogle and a Chocobo.
I was having the longest dream.
I bet.
'Tis time to wake up, Your Grace. Another...
Time to wake up. That's what he said. Is she gonna decide not to abdicate her throne now?
Her Grace is awoken. The palace physician assures me she's none the worse for her slumber. I believe Her Grace will soon resume her plans to place the government of Uldar into the hands of its citizens. Whatever path she chooses to take, I shall walk it with her. And we shall tread slowly, lest the nation be unsettled in our wake.
What's my favorite thing about streaming?
Her Grace's compassion is a shining beacon to us all. But what our city truly thrives upon is competition.
My favorite thing about streaming is getting to share my love of video games with you guys. And anybody else that wanders in. Like, you know, sharing the playthrough with people. That's what I like.
'Tis in the struggle against our rivals that opportunities are seized and fortunes made. And with the Empire on the offensive once more, now would hardly seem the time to turn our system of government upon its head.
Are you privy to new intelligence, my lord?
I would hardly call it new. Remind me, what was the name of that enormous Imperial warship which met its end in Mordona? Wait, I have it. The Agrias. Yes, well, 'twould appear that the Garleans have been hard at work on another such vessel.
How close are they to completing this ship? Is it operational?
Its maiden flight was a success, I hear. I should imagine Emperor Varys is eager to see how it performs in battle. My lords and ladies, I move that it is time to repair the damage caused by Teleji Adeleji and prepare our great nation to repel the Empire once more.
Oh boy. Man, Lolorito.
'Tis well that the Sultana has awoken. The Syndicate yet needs to put its house in order, but 'twould seem the worst of the confusion has passed. Uldar has taken control of its future, and I must do the same. I have decided to disband the Crystal Braves.
Oh, just now? Like, dude, like, you think?
Among the recruits, there were those who supported our Order's goals and convictions with all sincerity. 'Tis my hope that these loyal men and women will choose to remain our allies in the battles to come. As for those who sided with the traitor, Ilberd, they shall be hunted down and held to account for their crimes. It is my earnest hope that they will surrender themselves peaceably when the time comes, though I think it unlikely. Ah, my all-conquering Crystal Braves. The model army meant to pave the way for a single unified grand company of Eorzea. That so high an ideal should be brought so low. I need not tell you how deeply the betrayal stung me. Yet I see now that it was mine own naivety and pride which allowed the Braves to fall prey to corruption. As ever, it is to your own shining example that I turn for inspiration. Like you, I mean to stand firm in the face of hardship and give mine all for the cause. Let us resume the search for our missing comrades, that we might come together to shine the light of dawn across the realm once more.
Yeah, we haven't really been trying to, like, help the Scions.
Brave commander suited me ill, and I shall play it no longer. Henceforth, I shall be no more or less than Alfino, proud member of the Scions.
We've been, like, helping Ishgard and hiding out. We kind of just, like, forgot about most of the Scions for a while. I blush to speak thus of mine inner turmoil, but the fact remains there is no woman alive in whom I would rather confide. Were it not for your shining example, I might never have emerged from beneath my pall of despair. And Lolorito is very, very, very punchable. For sure. And still no word from Master Garland. I hope this mana cutter of theirs is near completion. I'm assured that her grace will make a full recovery. I, and Ul'dah too, shall flourish once more. General Raban and his colleagues have matters well in hand, I believe. Lady Yugiri, a question, if I may. I believe your people have been keeping a close watch on the Crystal Braves. Might you know how things stand at the Rising Stones? Ah, yes, of course. You'll be pleased to know that the 3rd Unit Braves abandoned Revenant's Toll when they learned the Captain Ilberd's defeat. The only blue uniforms to be seen there now are those worn by soldiers loyal to you, Master Alphino. To me? I see. I am grateful to hear that at least some of our members were true to their oaths. Ere we return to Ishgard, I must go to the Rising Stones and thank those stalwarts for their service. It shall be my final act as Crystal Brave Commander. Will you join me, Elheim? You were there at the company's inception. 'Tis only fitting you be present at its end. And I would appreciate the support. Is he really going to end it, though? The Crystal Braves was a good idea, just poor execution. Yeah, having a naive 16-year-old as a leader didn't help. That's true facts. Commander, you're alive. And Elheim too. I knew you'd scrape through. They don't have their uniforms anymore. My splendid Crystal Braves, I have wronged you, all of you. My promises of glory and salvation have brought you naught but blood and betrayal. You don't hear us complaining. 'Twas a sight messier than expected, but we was still fighting for freedom of all, just like we swore. Ain't that right, mates? Aye. You humble me. I am truly blessed to have such steadfast comrades. It is with the most profound regret, then, that I must... That's enough of that, Commander. We all know you've a mind to say, and we ain't having none of it. We've talked it over, see, and we all agreed. We can take our uniforms and strip us of our ranks, but we won't be any less a company. But the Crystal Braves... The Crystal Braves may be finished, but the ideals on which the company was founded live on. They bind us together, and to you. Commander Alphino, our minds are made up, so you might as well get used to it. Let us help the Scions. Let us help you and find Menphili and the others. My friends, after all of this happened, I know not what to say. Okay, so maybe not the Crystal Braves, but still something. Pray excuse me. I had thought my tears spent. My grandfather used to say that one could measure a man by the constancy of his comrades. Mayhap I am the exception which proves the rule. Nay, do not protest. I know that I am not worthy of their loyalty, Elheim. But as Thaliak was my witness, I shall do everything in my power to earn it. Alphino has matters to attend to at the Rising Stones. I must speak of the future plans with the remaining Braves. Any information we uncover on the missing Scions will need to be shared with our allies across the realm, specifically gildedJ and the Waking Sands and Tataru and Ishgard. While we are organizing our various channels of communication, I would ask that you call upon Master Garland at the manufactory. I will join you in Ishgard as soon as I am able. Okay. We're probably about to unlock the dungeon, I'm guessing. We'll get back there and Garland will be like, we fixed the ship, let's go. And then we'll be like, yay, dungeon. Right? That's the whole script. That's exactly how it's going to be. The quest is called Ready to Fly, so I think I know what's going to happen. No, not you. Elheim, how in the Seven Hills did you do it? I was just about to send for you. We have but this moment completed the Mana Cutter's first successful test flight. A few minor adjustments and she'll be ready to go. While we see the finishing touches, you might want to pay a visit to Fortent Manor. A dragoon by the name of Astinian was looking for you. Okay. See what Astinian's up to. Yeah, I'm almost 57. You have fulfilled your obligations to the old Dons, then. Mistress Tataru has been keeping me apprised of the situation. Once I learned of these mana cutters that Master Garland were nearing completion, I saw no reason to tarry in the mists. For the present, Nidhogg seems content to remain in the area, plotting his revenge. Might not this be an apt moment to unfold our plans to Sir Amric? I think we have kept him in the dark long enough. You're just standing around. Alright, we're almost there, man. There you go visit Sir Emmerich. Speaking of standing around, it's minus. Oh, bud. See you later, Mr. Turburglar. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again soon. Hot cops do that, yeah. Sir Emmerich has been eager to speak with you. Pray proceed.
All stands ready, Lord Commander.
Ah, the moment has come then.
Pray excuse my lateness. I paid a brief visit to the workshop to inquire about the mana cutters. The engineers assure me that they're ready.
The area is now but a short flight away. Yet what a long and winding path we took to reach this point. Were it not for Master Alphino's proposal, we never would have attempted to parley with the dragons. Though our negotiations yielded little, our expedition with Lady Isar taught us much.
You took an unimaginable risk. I could scarce believe the tale Estinian told.
Aye. 'Tis true that many of our countrymen would sooner die than join hands with the heretic's mistress. But 'twas through that most unlikely of alliances that we came to speak with Hraesvelgr.
A conversation that went rather poorly, as I recall.
In this instance, the journey was more important than the destination. Had we not slain Nidhogg's consort, Tiaman, and put the Great Worm on his guard, the Dravanians would have arrived at Ishgard's walls long ago.
Aye, that they would. Full grateful am I for every hour of respite your actions have afforded us. Thanks to you, our defenses are much improved. 'Tis but a pity they won't be enough.
Thus you believe an assault upon the area represents the city's best chance of survival. Is that not so, Estinian?
I am under no illusions. Nidhogg's might is legendary. But with his eye in my possession, I can stifle his strength at the source. Victory will be hard won, even so. And I shall be glad indeed to have the Warrior of Light at my side.
You shall have my blade as well.
Oh.
There are more of these mana cutters to be had, yes?
Lord Commander, no.
How can I, a proud knight of Ishgard, stand by and do naught while an outsider risks life and limb for our homeland? I swore an oath to protect this city.
Pray leave the slaying of dragons to dragoons, Sir Knight. Your duty to command the city's defense is no less vital. Should we fail, and Nidhogg slip through our grasp, who then will hold the walls against him? Will you leave Ishgard in the hands of the Holy Sea's zealots?
There are others.
Who but you has the authority and the standing to orchestrate a city-wide defense? I do not, and neither does the Warrior of Light. That is why it is our place to fight, and yours to remain here, Lord Commander. What? You too, Master Alphino? By the Fury! You have shown some promise, but this adversary is far beyond your skills.
Your candor is appreciated, Sir Dragoon. I shall remain then and cheer you from afar.
Well, my friend, 'Twould seem I have discouraged the last of the volunteers, and claimed the task as ours alone. But if any alive can best this worm, 'tis surely we two.
We two and the 3 other people you're going to take with you. A high of less than 10 degrees? I do not envy you that. Okay. I've pricked Master Alphinaud's pride, I fear. But had I been less forceful, the boy would have insisted on accompanying us to the Eyrie. Do not think me blind to his talent. With a few more campaigns under his belt, I have no doubt that Alphinaud will make a fine field commander. But one does not practice on an adversary such as Nidhogg. We shall be hard-pressed enough without the added worry of carrying a novice. Okay. There's our Aether Current we were missing. And a Mana Cutter key. Are we going to get a mount from this? We have tarried long enough. Let us call upon Master Garland to take possession of the Mana Cutters. Speak with Sid. The manufacturer? Maybe? Probably. Not a fan of the Mana Cutter? Oh well. Hello. Elheim, old friend, the cutters are ready when you are. The finer adjustments cost us a few sleepless nights, but we got there in the end. Which means you can get where you need to go. I tell you, these little beauties will tear through that wind barrier like cement drilled through a cottage cheese. Unable to join party. And that, my friends, is a Garland Ironworks guarantee. You have our thanks. Come, warrior light. Dreadworm awaits. Maybe it's because I'm in the middle of a conversation. It's really awkward on the ground when you don't have flight yet. Gotcha. Speaking of awkward, the behemoth looks so weird when you fly with it. Because it's like it goes from running to just like running in the air, because why not? So behemoths can't fly, but... Boom. Alright. Dungeon time, guys. Ah, we don't have to be on Discord, that's fine. Nothing too complicated. Awesome. Gotta be fun. I hope so. Boom. Nice and quick. Gotta love those insta-queues. Light party? No. We can do this. It's just Nidhogg. Why would you need a full party? I'd be surprised if we really fight Nidhogg in a 4-man dungeon instead of like something bigger. I was assuming he was going to be like a raid boss. Just holds up the eye. Nice. Okay. Wicked mortals, I shall melt your flesh and turn your bones to ash. There are no raids involved in the main story? Really? It's trials, huh? Raids are all optional other than the Crystal Tower? Gotcha. It's probably going to be harder to queue up for the other raids, huh? Alright. See if I can remember how to tank, huh? Only been a week. Clear the area exterior. Right. I love raids in WoW. I haven't really experienced a good raid in this yet, but maybe when we get to the new expansions. I see Ilyanya is Miss Tia is also an unbeliever. In good company here. Looks like left. Like how they give you a 90-minute time limit, like it's gonna take that long. First boss, Rangda. Where's our fourth person? Oh, you better typing. Boss tethers to you. Run to a pillar on the outside wall. Okay. Nope. Oop, wrong button. That's okay. Electric. Oh, ads. And down. Alright. Here the area interior. Very well. Up and down. These webs, we're gonna run into some spiders in here. Hello. Ooh, broodlings. Not a word you want to hear. Do we just leave the slumbering dragon alone, I guess? Because he's just slumbering, huh? Oh, my jump was still on cooldown. Like, why didn't I jump? Oops. Probably get a level in here, yeah? Okay. Okay. Here comes the second boss. I'm assuming another dragon? Yes, sir. Kill the bomb after it's absorbed 2 glass cows and got laundered inside. Okay. Assume they'll take care of that. Where's my freaking ranged attack? Looking like I need to pick up the bombs at all. Mustard gas, huh? Oh, he got bigger. That cloud over there, is that like a poison cloud? Easy enough. Okay. Level up. Ah. Okay. Alright. Flying through this. This looks interesting. Assuming they're going to come out one at a time. Possibly overlapping each other. Yeah. Okay, hello. Well, those went out fast. Okay, defeat Nidhogg. Alright, so Nidhogg is the final boss here. cutscene. I will enfeeble the worm with the eye. You must strike while it's weak. You can't get that big sword so fast. Anything I need to know about Nidhogg? I guess not. Alright. Here we go. Turn you around, big buddy. Impudent mortal, thou wouldst use mine own eye against me. Yeah, pretty much. How we roll around here. Wow, is Nidhogg really just a tank and spank? Like nothing to him, boss? And disappoint Nidhogg. I expected more from you, buddy. So what is this? What is this #1 point? This is a mechanic. What is this mechanic? It looks like... Is that our healer up in the frickin' #1 point? What do I do? I'm dead. Where's the dragon? Okay, there's another one. Come over here. I'll give Nidhogg that. He did kill me. Didn't quite know exactly what happened there. Looks like he left and we're fighting these guys. Maybe we actually kill Nidhogg in a trial later or something. This was just like the preliminary fight with him. Or maybe he'll come back. I don't know. Maybe we just have to fight a bunch of dragons and then finish him off. Sounds like maybe. Yeah, he's over there doing his thing, yeah? Ooh, it looks like Mega Flare or something. What the? Oh, I get in here maybe. My rage will consume you. Yeah, this seems like a good place to be. Alright, he's coming back? Yeah. Boom. Back on me, buddy. %, 12%, 11%. %, 7%, 6, 5. Oh. Did we not actually give him to 0? He's just done, or did we just spike him down at the end? He's gonna leave. Okay. Yeah, he's not done yet. There's more story for him. Good job, guys. Thanks for another successful dungeon run. Give a commendation to the one other guy. Good bud. We got some gear upgrades in there somewhere. Yeah, boom. New pieces. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool looking. Like a little shawl or something right going on there. I don't know what they call that. Alright. Like, Minus got a robe there too. Oh, hello. Oof. We're flaming. Now jump! Come on, do the Dragoon thing. Thou wouldst use mine own eye against me? Time hath done naught to dilute thy kind's depravity. The one marker on the mechanic was placed by you during the fight to say target this enemy first. I figured that's what one normally meant. I just wasn't sure what was going on over there. I couldn't tell it was an enemy at first. It seemed like a aura on the ground or something. I have not forgotten thee, Dragoon. Mine essence claimed thee once and shall do so again.
No worm! This ends here!
There's the jump. Bam, right in the brain. Going for a ride. Got some Shadow of the Colossus crap going on now. Oh, is he actually gonna kill Nidhogg? But what's gonna be the result of that, though? It's not gonna tie everything up neatly in a bow like they're hoping. His armor's like red with blood now. That's pretty badass, actually. If he got covered in dragon blood, is he gonna turn into a dragon? Because of their history. Oh, his armor is actually red now. Oh, and he got the other eye.
You gifted my people 1,000 years of suffering. Now I gift you an eternity in darkness.
That's how you dye your gear. We're gonna get another crystal. The ore was holding you in prison. You had to target the ore. Okay, yeah. When I saw that it was you in there, I was like, oh, we're in trouble. They've taken my healer from me. So we're like halfway through the main story, theoretically. If you use the crystals as a judge of that. More dragoons. Did the level 55 dungeons the map checks out? Makes sense. Just hit 57, but that's still good. Oh, here comes both of Nidhogg's eyes. Is that Amric? Who's this? Is that a Stenian in different armor? No, this is a flashback.
Lord Eldrath, the eyes of Nidhogg.
No, it's not. Okay, wait, what? Why do we give them the eyes, and what are they doing with them?
Aye, the worm lies broken and my father is avenged. With the wellspring of his vitality thus denied him, Nidhogg shall not linger long in this world.
It's a flashback, so Nidhogg lost both of his eyes before?
But behold the terrible price we have paid. My sire is dead. So many brother knights slain. We traded our honor for the strength which now courses in our veins. And still we are forced to make such sacrifice.
Okay, so how did Nidhogg come back? Does one of them become a dragon, take Nidhogg's eyes, and become a new Nidhogg?
But not in vain, my lord.
Is that going to happen to Estinian?
Great worm left in Dravania, and he dares not leave his lair. With Nidhogg's eyes in your possession, who now can challenge the might of Ishgard, ascend the throne, and take your rightful place as the ruler of our people?
Nay, my friend. I must forsake the mantle of king. Though Nidhogg be defeated, his wormling horde yet darkens the skies with wings beyond counting. As one who partook of Ratatoska's strength, it shall be my penance to bear a knight's arms until death grants me leave to retire.
So this is like way back when.
When that day comes, no prince shall perish, but a hell's-bound hunter of dragons.
But Lord Haldreth, what then shall become of the royal line?
Think of your people, my lord. Without a king, who will the common man turn to in his hour of need? How will he find his way without your benevolent hand to guide him?
I thank you, Sir Flavian and Sir Silvertrill, for dispelling my remaining doubts. With men of such wisdom and compassion in service to the realm, it is plain that Ishgard has no need of a king.
These are like the forefathers of the different high houses of Ishgard.
But if you must bow to the demands of tradition, you need look no further than yourselves for one worthy to wear the crown.
They certainly don't seem super evil, but why are they killing the dragons?
Fare thee well, my brother knights, my loyal friends. On these shoulders shall I bear the weight of my father's sins. With this lance shall I repay the debt accrued through our misdeeds.
Okay, so they're acknowledging that they did the wrong thing, but now they're just having to kill the dragons to deal with it?
What cruel jest has fate played upon us? Have we seized this desperate victory only to lose a king?
We can but act as our lord has bid. We few who remain must divide between us the rulership of Ishgard and her people.
Not I. My oath was to Lord Haldreth,
I'm
and
gonna get a name for this one.
if he is not to be king, then I would hang up my shield as well.
Will you abandon us too, sir?
I would wash my hands of blood and betrayal, and take up an honest trade. Mayhap I shall serve ale instead of sharpened steel.
Voice sounds familiar. How did Nidhogg get one of his eyes back?
We four, then.
Forton, Hylanat, Dyrendare, and Zemail.
They'll rule Ishgard.
4 houses to rule all of Ishgard.
And what of the throne?
We keep it empty. Until the day a king rises once more. We must assume the role of stewards.
Someone can rise as king, huh?
We shall shape our nation anew with a history of our own making. And let the truth of this dark day die here, upon the battlefield.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and predict the ending now. The descendant of the guy that left, the brawny knight that we don't get a name for, his descendant is gonna become the king and end the war. There you go. That's the story. Is he the guy at the end?
What ails you, friend? Are you wounded?
So we just got that vision. How did he get his eye back?
You have borne witness to history. To the culmination of the first battle with Nidhogg. The legend of Ishgard's founding tells that our ancestors were led to the land of Kurthus by the valiant King Thordan. In the midst of their journey, they came to a wide chasm, where they were set upon by a great worm, Nidhogg. A furious battle then ensued, with Thordan leading the van. Though the brave king was slain defending his people, his son, Haldrath, the first Azure Dragoon, fought on undaunted.
Right.
And with a mighty thrust of his lance, he gouged out Nidhogg's eye, forcing the wicked creature into retreat.
But he got both eyes and said that Nidhogg was gonna die.
Thus, did this eldritch orb become a sacred treasure of Ishgard, lending its power to every knight deemed worthy to bear the title of Azure Dragoon. A rousing tale, is it not? Would that I could still believe it. But your vision, which we must accept as immutable truth, leaves no room for doubt, save on one point.
Yeah, the eyes have different colors.
If Haldrath took both of Nidhogg's eyes, then how came this eye to be lodged in the worm's skull?
Right. Oh, he gave us one of the eyes.
Beneath every answer we unearth, another question lies buried.
And, okay, so assuming Nidhogg got back an eye that wasn't his own, then what happened to Nidhogg's other eye? Does the Holy See still have it? I wonder if it's possible that the knight is like still alive because he had the eye, so like it extends your life like it does for the dragons.
"'Twas a fierce battle, but one I knew we would win. Your fame is well deserved, warrior of light. Full proud am I to have fought at your side. I would fain return with all swiftness to Ishgard to inform the Lord Commander of our triumph. But we must first have words with Hraesvelgr. There are parts of this tale that the worm has kept from us, and I would not.
Oh, it's gotta be Hraesvelgr's eye. Hraesvelgr was missing an eye. So they took both of Nidhogg's eyes, and then Hraesvelgr gave his brother one of his eyes, maybe. Because there's no story of the Dragoons taking Hraesvelgr's eye. That's gotta be it. Though Nidhogg has fallen, my heart is yet heavy. And this stain of corruption pleases me not. When all has been put to rest, I must needs forge my armor anew. And we get our flight. And our mana cutter. Woot! Free bird, churning mists. With Nidhogg fallen, none save Hraesvelgr remain to answer our questions. Let us trouble the worm again. I don't know how much he's going to want to talk to us, considering we just killed his brother. But maybe if we give him his eye back, he'll be happier. And if Iceheart yet lingers at Zenith, all the better. I would have her hear the truth from the dragon's maw. Oh, this is not going to go well. This is not going to go well at all. "'Twas you, was it not? The furious screams of dragons carried far. You have slain Nidhogg. What more could you desire from this place? Will you not allow Heresfelger to mourn the death of his kin in peace? Spare us your sanctimonious judgment, Ice Maiden. We have a gift for the Great Worm, and a mystery that can no longer lie buried. Lady Iceheart, the Dragon Song War has all but consumed your life, and claimed many of your followers. It is time you learn the truth of its beginning, the whole truth, that we may at last bring this bitter conflict to an end. Assuming we get the dragons to calm down now that we killed Nidhogg, and we give him back his eye, then it's got to be Nidhogg's other eye that's the problem. Ishgard's going to become the enemy, right? Sound the horn, warrior of light. The first half deal with the Javanians, second half deal with the Ishgardians. That's my theory. And then we get the descendant of the guy that didn't want to lead Ishgard to become the king. Wrap the story up in a bow. That's going to be the story of Heavensward. Knock down the Holy See and reinstate the monarchy. See what he thinks about us now. Yeah. Impudent mortals ever seeking to bury old wrongs under new. I did sense the moment of Nidhogg's demise. Hey, you like my new armor? It's covered in Nidhogg's blood.
Your eye from his head.
Yeah, exactly. Your eye. "'Twould seem you have uncovered my secret. Aye, unto the blinded Nidhogg did I yield one half of my strength. I'm gonna give it back. Nice. Remember how hard Nidhogg was? No, this guy's twice as strong. More tired than angry? It could be. That's weird, we just killed his brother. You can't be super happy about that. Oh, we're getting another vision. Nidhogg, what hath befallen thee? We are undone by covetous mortals. They did take Radatasker's eyes and glut their appetites upon her essence. She is slain then. What madness hath unmade our peaceful accord? So did they eat Radatasker's eyes? Like, we don't have any account of what happened to them either, but I think it seems like they somehow consumed them. Did I not warn thee, blood brother, brood brother? have ever been untrustworthy creatures, these short-lived Elysian. I wonder if Nidhogg is lying to his brother here. I don't think either side of this is going to be like coming out of this, you know, without guilt. Thou wert enchanted by thy mortal maid. Thy folly hath cost Ratatoskr her life and me mine eyes. Oh, my beloved Shiva, how swiftly are thy kin made bestial by their appetites. Svilgr, 'twas thy blindness that did invite disaster into our lands. Surrender thee and I unto me, and let that be thy penance. Nidhogg. They bested me once, but I was reckless. I shall need but a single eye to inflict enduring torment upon these traitors and every child of their line. Yield to me thy strength, brood brother. All right. My vengeance has begun. Thou hast borne witness to a scene from my past. She saw it too.
It was yours. Your strength that sustained Nidhogg all these years.
Yeah, it was.
Would that Haldreth had dealt the worm a killing blow.
When my brood brother did appear before me, bloody and blinded, his life was all but spent. He demanded half my vigor that he might exact his revenge upon the mortals who had wronged us.
And so you acquiesced. You surrendered your eye to Nidhogg, knowing full well the suffering he would inflict.
The peace my beloved so dearly desires had been shattered by her own kin. Their treachery claimed my brood sister's life and my brood brother's reason. Thinkest thou thy fits of indignation will move me to remorse? Go, mortals, take your unruly passions and leave this place. Your presence has spelled naught but misery. I like the new thing I got going on with my armor there. Were it not for Shiva's soothing embrace, I would slay you where you stand. Woe betide you should bond. Woe betide you should the bond we share ever weaken. The song begins. That's an interesting name for the quest. Oh, the next main scenario quest is all question marks. What is about to happen? Everybody are standing around here in cutscenes. Okay. Unrest in Ishgard. Oh my. Though he lifted not a single claw, 'twould seem that Hresvelgard wreaked his own manner of vengeance against us. Fair.
'Twas my life's goal to slay Nidhogg, but I find there is little joy to be had in its accomplishment.
But you have rid the world of a hate-filled creature, and ended a bloody war in so doing.
Did he, though?
I lost my family to Nidhogg's flames, and 'twas with fury in my heart that I took up the lance. Every blow I struck in the name of vengeance. We were not so different, he and I.
I will not judge you for your deeds. I have not the right. Too many innocents have perished in the name of my greater good.
Yet even with all that has passed, the tale is incomplete.
Yeah.
We are short a great worm's eye. Of the pair which Haldreth took from Nidhogg, only one is known to us, the one I bear. What then became of the other? Why did Nidhogg, who had taken such pains to prolong the Dragonsong War, suddenly decide to hurl his entire army against the walls of Ishgard?
Yeah.
Lord Commander. Aye. The deed is done. Nidhogg is slain. What? In the city? A battle with whom? At once, Lord Commander. Hold firm till our return. Fighting has broken out in the city. Lord Emmerich was sparse with the particulars, but it seems some commoners threw open the gates to a force of heretics.
Interesting.
I gave no order to attack.
Are we to mark the end of the Dragonsong War by spilling the blood of our own? Mayhap Hresvelgard was right about us. Let us away, Warrior of Light. The people must be saved from themselves.
Wait! I would join you!
I don't know if they're gonna let you in the city.
There has been enough violence. I will appeal to my people in the city and make them see reason.
Fair. I feel like if she stays in the city after this is over, the Ishgardians aren't exactly going to forgive her.
Let us write the final chapter in this damnable war.
Even if Estinian's cool with her. I mean, I'm cool with her, but... What's going on back in Ishgard? This guy is the prime candidate for who has the other eye.
A small army of heretics has invaded the city, Your Eminence. But there is no cause for concern. A sizable contingent of our soldiers is already in place to repel the Dravanian assault.
The Holy See and the Knights Templar
find themselves outnumbered and outmatched.
Our plans proceed apace, then.
Archbishop Thordan VII. So is the ruler of the Holy See a descendant of the prince? Or is that guy the prince and he changes the number every now and then and he still has the eye? I'm just saying.
Yes, Your Eminence. This unrest shall serve to feed the people's fear of the heretics and the dragons both.
And lend renewed fervor to their prayers for deliverance. Very good. Grant our guests what time they need to sow a measure of chaos, then order the Temple Knights to crush them.
He wants the heretics and the dragons to be a problem because it puts him in power. I wonder if he used Nidhogg's eye to make the dragons attack the city so that he could be the savior.
Your will be done.
Mm-hmm. I seem they're still talking with him, huh?
The moment is at hand. Excellent. All shall soon be in alignment. It is time for the Bringer of Light to die.
Okay. We're gonna let the heretics rampage in the city a little bit and then take care of them. Awkward. Okay, deal with that later. Not gonna ask why Lady Iceheart's with you.
There!
Comrades, sheathe your swords. There is no need for further bloodshed.
My lady!
She has come.
Hear me, brothers and sisters! The war is ended! Nidhogg is no more!
Huh? Wait, what?
Aye, it is so! This adventurer and the Azure Dragoon laid the great worm low!
She's yelling like she's talking to like a big crowd, but it's like
The
these guys.
endless cycle of violence between man and dragon was born of our forefathers' treachery. You have followed me, bled with me, to bring this truth to light that we might all know peace. But Nidhogg is dead. Nidhogg is dead, my friends. He who bore such hatred towards Ishgard is dead. Let his hatred die with him, I say. Let us sheathe our swords and go in peace.
Have we lost?
No, my friend. Far from it. At long last, the peace for which we have so desperately fought is within our grasp.
I love it. Wait,
I, for one,
did we
will
lose?
not forsake it.
Peace?
And then cue the Temple Knights to just come in and murder all of them as they try to walk away. Right? Maybe?
Seize the witch! Let none escape!
Yeah, exactly. There will be no peace. Oh, okay, we're in the way though.
Providing aid and succor to the wounded should be our first concern. If the heretics mean to observe the peace, then it would be folly not to do the same.
Okay. Interesting. Something's gonna happen though. Just waiting for that shoe to drop. That was rather too close for comfort, which would seem that calm is returning to the streets. My mind, however, yet clamors with 1,000 questions. You return to Ishgard in the oddest of company, my friend. Fair. Orthodox Mayhem. Is that a title? Nidhogg Slayer. I mean, it's true. Might as well. Yeah. Nidhogg Slayer. Oh, I'm good at. Yeah, that's going to be it for me for tonight, too. I think it's a perfect stopping point. We seem to have hit the end of a chapter. We're about to start a new one. Oh, I mean, I guess it's we're kind of like at the end of the Nidhogg story and at the beginning of whatever's about to happen with the Holy See, right? Let's not start it tonight. So that's gonna be it for tonight. We will be back on tomorrow because we stream here every day. Tomorrow night's gonna be Deadshire. She's gonna be playing Final Fantasy VI, cleaning up the last little bit of optional stuff before she approaches Kefka's Tower. And I might sneak in the end of Zelda 2 before she starts tomorrow too, because all we have left is the Great Palace. We got to finish it up, right? So Zelda 2 and Final Fantasy VI tomorrow. On Friday, Final Fantasy VIII will return. And then Saturday is going to be the end of Final Fantasy VI and the beginning of Danganronpa 2. So thanks for watching, guys. Hit that follow button if you haven't already. Twitch will tell you when I'm on. It's pretty much every night at 8. Except on Saturdays it's 10. And earlier if I can. We've been starting like 6 or 7 the last couple nights. I don't think 6 is going to be a thing now that I'm back at work. But 7 might be. We'll see. But anyways, as always, thanks for watching. If you ever want to catch back up, all these videos end up on YouTube eventually. Right now, the Final Fantasy Tactics is finishing going up on YouTube, and Final Fantasy VI is starting to go up on YouTube, right? And Final Fantasy 14 just slowly goes up on YouTube like once a week, like you do. Anyways, I'm going to raid on over to another wonderful streamer now before we end it for tonight. So let's just take a little quick look here. I know I saw who was on earlier, but I want to confirm. Nerdles in Time is playing Fallout New Vegas. But who was it? You know what? Level 1 Alt is playing Dragon Quest 6. That deserves some views, man. I swear. So we're going to raid on over to Level 1 Alt. Say hi to him for me. Hope you guys enjoy his show just as much as you enjoy mine, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.